Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, the Coach Coop Show. Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, the Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show.
Hey, yo! What's going on, Miami Hurricanes fan? I guess you guys like the intro so much, you're gonna get it twice. Let's run it back! I'm just playing. How do we stop this? Oh, there we go. What's going on, Canes fans and my college football family? I already see some Florida State representation in the live chat, along with lots of Miami Hurricanes fans, of course. I do this to myself every time. At the beginning of every live stream, I know that you guys can't see it for the most part, but I'm not kidding you. When that intro is playing, there's a reason why I selected that specific music. And it's because it kind of gets me up and moving and grooving, and I really like it. So I'm always sweating. Like, by the time I kick it to this camera and the intro is done, I'm always sweating as soon as the stream starts. When it's playing, I'm over here like this. Doing this. You guys know I got moves, right? You've seen my dance moves. You know I got some moves. But it's just so funny because I'm like out of breath. I'm sweating. It's like, what's going on, bro? Like, it's just the intro. Yo, get it together. Melissa! Thank you for re-upping that Canes fan membership for 16 months. Melissa, very happy to have you stopping by tonight. We have been sans beans for far too long. I agree with the first part of that statement, but the second half, the tail end of it, I'm not so sure I agree there, Melissa. But thank you for the 16 months. I really, really appreciate it. I'm trying to get my setup's all wonky here. Like, I don't know. Everything looks off and different. I think it's because I never wear white. I was actually really upset whenever they decided that it was going to be a whiteout for the Miami versus Clemson game because I didn't have any white shirts. Melissa was in the same boat. Melissa, didn't you have to get new clothes for the Clemson game last season? I did. I had to order a whole new shirt just for that game because I don't have any white stuff. And I think it's throwing me off because it's throwing off my camera. I don't know what the white, it's like throwing off the ISO or something. I don't know. It's weird. I figured I'd rock a jersey tonight because Joel hooked me up. You guys might have saw the video where I met with Joel Davis. Yeah, Joel Davis from right here on the channel. And he actually bought me this. A Florida State fan bought me this. Check out the back. Look at that. Yo, Mario, put me in. Put me in, Mario. Let me get some reps in spring. I know we're short at the cornerback position right now. It's super thin. Let me get some reps, Mario. But I don't normally wear a jersey, but I figured we would rock it tonight. I bought a shirt from Caneswear. That's right. So neither one of us had any white gear that we could rock for the Clemson game. What's up, Zach Jones? What's up, man? So shout out to everybody who's here bright and early for the stream. My man, Randy, always showing up loud and proud. You know I appreciate you, Randy. We got Cypher in the building. Good to see you, Cypher. Stephanie, my UM wife. I was telling Joel all about you earlier this week, Stephanie, just so you know. We got Nick Snyder representing FSU. I was actually talking about you to Joel as well. Bro, I am brain dead between work and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm all over the place. Understandable. Believe it or not, I've not played a lot of Final Fantasy in my life, but dang, that looks impressive, bro. I've watched people play it, and it looks sick for sure. We got Glenn. Good to see you, my man. Happy to have you in here. Gmail. We got Wayne Smith. Serrano. What's good, man? Orange and green. Appreciate you being here. So tonight we are going to kind of recap the Miami Hurricanes spring practice week 1. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and everything in between, because we don't shy away from any of the bad stuff. And there are some not so good things from this week, and we're going to talk about it. It's going to be, kind of open floor. You can voice your opinion, and we'll just chop it up here for maybe, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, something like that. We'll kind of keep it short and sweet tonight. But I also welcome questions, discussion points, topics, questions. I have my little spiel. I got my notes ready to rock. But then we'll kind of open up the floor, and then we'll just kind of discuss whatever you guys want to talk about from week 1. Crazy to think it's already over, right? They had this first week of spring practice, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then now they're going to be on spring break. So there won't be any spring practice stuff next week. We'll do hypotheticals and things on the channel. We'll still pump out content, but no practices next week. The next practice after today is going to be Tuesday, March 19th. So it's going to be a little ways away, but an eventful week nonetheless. A lot of crazy stuff went down with spring practice, some viral catches that went up on social media. Canes fans going back and forth with each other, opposing teams fans weighing in, giving their opinions. We got a lot to talk about.
If you want to know how mean Co-op is, that wasn't a magnet he put on my car. It was a sticker. It is on like Donkey Kong. Lol.
Got him! Got him! Joel Davis! Do you guys think I got him good, or do you think I got him good? If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the video of me meeting up with Joel, and I had a secret. I had a secret mission. I went full-blown stealth mode for that video. And my mission was to somehow put a Miami Hurricanes sticker on something that Joel owns. And he didn't know about it. I didn't tell him this. I put it at the beginning of the video, and I didn't upload the video until after he had already left and went back to his town 8 hours away. So I won't spoil it for you, but you guys can already see I was successful in my mission. But you'll have to watch the video to see how it went down. Joel, be honest with me. How long did that Miami Hurricane sticker stay on your car? The people want to know. And as I said, we're going to get into spring talk. I'm just giving people a few minutes to find their virtual seats, and we're just going to small talk here for a minute. Joel, I will sit you atop your throne, you absolute madman. I'm rocking your jersey. Well, the jersey that you got me. I'm rocking the Coop jersey, my man. Absolutely love it. And it fits. Jerseys very rarely fit me. Because, I'm just so tall and lanky. So they very rarely fit me. But we're rocking it tonight, Joel. We're rocking it. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the big 99. Just let us know how long the sticker stayed on the car. We need to know. And did you really not see it? Was that genuine? Because I think I was pretty smooth with it. Like, you were in the back of your car kind of fumbling around with that earthy, ugly, stinky Florida State blanket that you had. And while you were fumbling around with that, I came over there and just smacked that bad boy on the side of the car. So let's see. Let's see what he says. When Coop comes to Tally, we're getting him drunk and tattooing a Seminole somewhere on his body. Won't happen. Won't happen. Nope. Impossible, Joel. I'm always on my A game. There's no way I would ever let that happen. Nope. We need to know, Joel. Nick is asking, did that stay the whole drive back? I want to know that you drove all the way back to Tally, or, the general area, with a Miami Hurricanes U on your car. I need to know. I need to know. Go on a secret mission to get a stadium. I'll do it. Just lend me the money, Mike Jones. Stephanie loved it. Zach Jones, I appreciate the 5, man. I'll let the robot lady read it out, and we'll see what you've got to say here. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the love. We need to get you on the show, because I'm seeing some disagreement here already. We're gonna see all the way back. Come on, guys. I put in work for the Canes. I put in work putting that logo on a Florida State fan's vehicle. I knew something was up because I felt an evil presence all the way home. Oh, man. That was so good. So stinking good. I hope you were able to get the sticker off, though, like, actually. Because I felt kind of bad at first, because I was like, what if this is like a brand new car? And what if Joel's going to be pissed because I put a sticker on it and it leaves like a residue or something, which would be kind of humorous if the residue was the outline of a U. That'd be pretty dang funny, honestly. But, 2024 top 10 ACC QBs preseason. Okay,
On the
all
side
right.
of your helmet.
2024 top 10 ACC QBS preseason 1. Ward, Miami,
Okay.
2. McCord, SYR, 3. DJU, FSU, 4. Klubnik, Clemson, 5. Stone, SMU, 6. King, GT, 7. Drones, VT.
This is what it
Okay,
takes
and it continues.
to wear the U on the side of your helmet.
8. Johnson, UNC, 9. Castellanos, BC, 10. SLU, Louisville, thoughts?
Interesting list here. Okay, putting Miami with Cam Ward up at the top. Now, to be fair, you are saying preseason, right? I mean, a lot of assumptions have to be made. Some of these schools haven't even started spring practice yet, so we've not even had a first look yet. I think here's the deal. It's very tough for me to come out and be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and make like a full-blown list like that this early. I will say that I do believe Ward and DJ will probably be top 5. And people are going to feel like I'm shying away from it because I don't want some controversy here. But, I got a lot of PTSD. Dawson has a lot to prove, with him actually being able to work with Cam Ward here. We're going to talk about Cam Ward tonight, but it's very tough for me to come out and throw him in that number 1 spot, even in a preseason list. I do think him and DJ, unfortunately, I think they both deserve to be top 5, and you could maybe even make an argument for top 3. Because when you look at some of these, I don't really care about Klubnik. He already kind of showed his cards, him, kind of making his own decisions on the field, going against, Garrett Riley and Dabo. I mean, Castellanos, yeah, he can run, but he's got a bunch of other issues. Hey, King could be up there potentially. I hate to say it, but King could be a little ways up there. McCord, I don't know. That McCord one's interesting. So that's it's got the gears grinding a little bit, Zach Jones. It does have the gears grinding a bit. I think that Haynes King could probably be higher. I think that's the thing. I would maybe even put Haynes King up there in the top 3 or 4. Maybe. I appreciate you, bro. You gave me something to think about there. Thank you for the Big 10, Zach Jones. We're gonna do some stuff this season. We're gonna do some stuff with him when it comes to the Georgia Tech stuff. We got Duck in the building. Hey, it's good to see you, Duck. Appreciate you being here, bro. Klubnik calls his own number in clutch situations and flubs it up, right? Like, if that works out in that scenario, he looks like a genius, you know. But that's how it always is. You know, you go for 2. If you get it, you win. Oh, my goodness, greatest call ever. You don't get it, you look like a big fat dummy, you know. But overall, that's a relatively fair list, Zach Jones, for preseason. Again, remembering that it's preseason. So I totally get it. Totally get it. Malik Murphy. True. Malik Murphy. He's done it like 3 times and lost the game for his team. And I hope that trend continues, Nick Snyder. I sure do. I hope it does. So anyways, how's everybody doing? First week of spring practice. It's been pretty exciting. Cornelius, good to see you, bro. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to start with the good. Then we're going to go from the good to the bad. We're going to jump to the extreme. And then we're going to go from the bad to the in-between. And the in-between is kind of the void. The in-between is like, this could be considered a good thing. It could be considered a bad thing from spring practice. But it just depends on who you're asking. Preseason rankings are useless. I mean, at the end of the day, yes. All preseason, anything is useless. Really. Preseason everything is purely, it needs to be looked at as just for fun. Anyone who ever takes anything preseason super serious, they're the problem. I don't have a problem with doing preseason stuff. The problem is the people who take it to the extreme and take it super serious. We got to do something to pass the time. And for content creators, you need content. So preseason stuff is fun. It is. But as far as taking it to heart, that's the problem. People need to not take it to heart. They need to just have fun with it and realize that it's anybody's guess. Because you can even look at it when they break down, you know, the top 10, top 25, whatever that comes out. How often does it actually end up being that way? You know? What's up, Moonlight Meat? Good to see you, bro. What did I ignore? Coop ignores my truth bomb comments? No. When you bring up stadium stuff, I just don't care. I'll be honest. I don't. This is what it takes. We had this conversation last week. I don't care about the stadium stuff.
Your helmet.
I made that mostly off of stats, QBR, and potential. Ward has the best 2023 stats and
That's
a great
fair.
QBR. McCord just had good stats, so I can't put him too far down. Rest are mostly stats. Murphy too young RN.
That's fair. So I see the approach. I see what you're saying. And again, that shows it can also depend on the person that made the list, what their approach is, what exactly they're looking at. So, no, I respect it, Zach Jones. Appreciate the 10, man. Yo, you ain't got to just type it in there. I appreciate you, bro. The media takes preseason serious for those clicks and interactions. That's true. That's true. And we're actually going to talk about that a little tonight, Nick. We're going to talk about the hype machine, the social media team, the Kool-Aid drinkers, the people who can't stand it, who sniff it out and throw it out. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it all tonight. We're going to get into it. ESPN. Yeah, you can't just disappear during the offseason because people will forget about you. They'll move on and they'll find other people to watch. So you have to drum up something. It's part of, if you want to be in the game, this is what I say about being on YouTube. If you want to be in the game, you've got to be willing to play the game at times. So I have a lot of people, and then we're kicking off this list for spring practice. I have a lot of people who will approach me and they'll say, Coop, why would you put like a semi-clickbait title like that? Well, I'm not going to go too deep, but a catchy title is not clickbait. But the thing is, the analytics don't lie. People speak with their views. And the reality is, sometimes you got to play the game. You got to make the controversial, drama-filled videos. You got to make the preseason, full season prediction. Like, if you're going to be in this game, you got to play it sometimes. It just is what it is. I don't always like it. I don't always agree with it, but It's my profession, my job, and I have to approach it in a way that hopefully helps me to succeed. Yeah, I've been soaking all of it up, bro. Been soaking up all the interviews, all the talks, all the clips. It's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Feel free to small talk. Let's elaborate on each of these. And then, as I said, to wrap it up, I want to kind of open the floor, and we can all give our opinions on some questions that people have about spring practice. So I want to start with some of the good high points from spring practice. These are just some things that stood out to me personally, and obviously it goes much deeper than this, but we've posted 5 or 6 videos already this week about spring practice. So if you feel like I'm missing something, bring it up, or we probably talked about it in a previous video. But I want to talk about some good takeaways from spring practice week 1. This is purely just from week 1. And the first thing that really stands out is Cam Ward. And I do believe that he is as advertised so far. I'm not with that crowd that's jumping to conclusions. Let's be real here. They're not even in full pads yet. It's not full contact. They just put on shoulder pads today. So up until today, day 3, it was just helmets and shorts. But overall, Cam Ward, the good news is, does seem to be a fit. And I'm talking about a fit all around. He gets along well with the other players. I've talked to him. They all seem to love him. He seems to be a fit for the offense. He's doing all of the things we hoped he would. Because there are scenarios where you could bring in a guy that is considered the top transfer portal quarterback, and he just doesn't work. You know what I mean? It can be this crazy, amazing athlete, fantastic quarterback, but he's not a fit. And it can make him look really bad and also make you look really bad as well. So the good news is I feel like Cam Ward is a fit. He's making the throws he's supposed to make at practice. There's not a lot of pressure right now. There's no full contact. We already know this, but I'm talking about what he's supposed to be doing right now, because some guys aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing right now. And you still have to remember that you want guys to look good because you're hoping that that translates to the actual games, as opposed to guys looking bad at practice, even early. And then that's probably bad news for when the season gets here. He's giving the defense good looks, which will only make them better in the long run. And that's something that Dawson really talked about in his interview today. He said Cam Ward is making sure that our guys on defense stay locked in, and he's testing their discipline because he's mobile. He has the ability to extend plays, and I think that it will make the defense a lot better in the long run by the time the season gets here. And as I said, he's working on building that chemistry with the players. Yesterday, Cam Ward took all of the offensive linemen out for an all-you-can-eat steak dinner. And he covered the bill. And, I love that. I love that. And he had the Super Bowl party hang out at his place, and he's really just connecting with the players. And that's super important to me personally. I love when players do that. Tyler Van Dyke pretty much hung out with Restrepo and like 1 or 2 other dudes. And then otherwise, he didn't even really talk with anyone. When people would talk to the other players and ask them about Tyler, he wasn't really like I don't know how to explain it. He was just a quiet, kind of kept to himself, didn't really hang out with many people, wasn't super social. And I do feel like it matters a bit. I do feel like building those relationships and things do matter. I think it's important. I don't want this to come off as hate. I think Cam Ward has the potential to have a special year this year, but he has some bad habits from mechanics perspective. Don't be shocked. If his shortstop throwing style of not squaring shoulders and driving through hips and his 10 o'clock release point cause inconsistencies this fall. And knowing that's fair. And I do want you to know that I'm not trying to hype him up to be some type of Heisman candidate. I hope that you've not gotten that vibe from me at any point. That's why I've tried to tell people that just because I say, whoa, Cam Ward, he made this awesome throw at spring practice, I'm not saying that he's a Heisman candidate or that we're making a run for the playoffs. I'm just saying he made an awesome throw. Like, it's as simple as that. It doesn't extend beyond that. Just he made that throw that he was supposed to make. It looked good. And it's not all rainbows and unicorns. To be fair, it never is with anyone, but it's definitely not all only good things. All of our QBs look like All-Americans against air. True. Once the pads go on, I keep ending all of my statements in my spring videos, Katie, with once the pads go on, we'll see if this is still the case. And it's because I'm trying to go ahead and shut down the trolls and the only negative people. I get it. Once the pads go on, we'll see if this continues and if this carries over, you know? Coop had Texas Roadhouse use a blowtorch on his steak. I said, well done. And unfortunately, our waitress agreed with Joel. Joel got his medium rare.
This is what it takes
Who does that?
to wear the U
Who does that?
on the side of your helmet.
No reason Ward shouldn't finish 2024 as the best ACC QB. Plays 8 games in the state of Florida. Looks great preseason. Seems like a leader. 3,700 yards and 25 TDS in 23. Should easily have 4,000 yards and 25 to 30 TDS.
I didn't say it. That's a Georgia Tech fan. That's not Coop saying it. Rambling on with Zach Jones with another 10 coming in hot. You know, I would like to believe it as a Canes fan. However, there's no way that I can think that yet. Hope. Would I come out and say that he will accomplish that? No, I can't. And you said should. You said no reason he shouldn't. So I get the perspective. I do. Appreciate another 10, Zach Jones. Appreciate the love, bro. I'm late. What going on with Hurricane football practice? Demetrius, you popped in. We've only discussed 1 point so far. So you're not even that late, bro. I was late. I was real late. We're going to talk about Ray here in a bit, Malik. We're definitely going to talk about Ray as well. Zach Jones with another 5. Let me not say easily. If he progresses like he should, and he translates to the ACC, he should have amazing stats. Again, yes, exactly. Keyword should. If we're able to utilize those weapons on the outside, you have the sure-handed Restrepo. You have the deep ball threat, Jacoby George, assuming he got everything together. Isaiah Horton should be a baller. You should be able to have a run game to back it up. All of the ingredients are there. But we got to see if it all mixes together the way that it should. And hopefully Dawson, knows how to use him. If you get your steak well done, you might as well hand them the shoe and have them grill that. That's how I like it. Yeah. Yeah, Nick, I'm trying to stay on point here. And you guys are making fun of how I eat my steak. It's okay to have a wrong opinion. It is. It's fine. It's perfectly fine to have a wrong opinion. Nothing wrong with that. Who will be the number 2 QB? We're going to talk about that tonight as well. We're going to talk about that. So Cam Ward advertised so far. Another good thing from spring practice, week 1 in my opinion.
On the side of your helmet.
Let me not say easily. If he progresses like he should and he translates to the ACC, he should have amazing stats.
Should. Yeah. Should. There's a lot of things Miami should do. Yeah, should. We're going to see. We're going to talk about it, Demetrius. We're going to talk about it here in a second. You guys can carry on about your steak preferences. Hoodie Mom prefers medium rare. You guys have terrible opinions with that. Wrong opinions, as a matter of fact. But it is what it is. We don't. You guys can be wrong on steak preference, and we can still be friends. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Another really good thing from spring practice week 1 that I've noticed is it's super exciting to see tight end Elijah Arroyo healthy and running back Trevante Citizen. Elijah Arroyo has become a favorite target of Cam Ward's, and it's just really nice to see because I've been preaching the Arroyo show. I think he is a tight end that could play a big part in the passing game if Cam Ward looks his way and Dawson dials some stuff up. So there's a huge opportunity there as long as he can stay healthy. Citizen could be, honestly, a game changer. Trevante Citizen could be an impact player. The big question here is, can he overcome all of those injuries? Because he's had some serious season-ending injuries back to back. So is he able to overcome the physical and mental part that comes along with that? And that room is pretty stacked. When we talk about Parrish, let's say Fletcher is healthy. If A.J. Allen is healthy, you have Wheatley Humphrey, you have Chris Johnson. I mean, there's a lot of guys in that room. There's some serious competition, and Citizen has the potential. The potential's there. But Citizen has to overcome a lot. He's not got to play a lot of ball due to those injuries, but we know what he could be capable of. So seeing him healthy out there puts a smile on my face. He's rocking the brace on the knee, but he's not shown any issues with putting weight on it, making cuts on it, getting upfield. He's good. But, man, let me tell you, Chris Johnson and Wheatley Humphrey, man, those guys are fast. So fast. If they kick it to the outside, find some space, cut up field, they're gone. They're gone, bro. So it's going to be crazy to watch that running back room this season. But I really hope that Arroyo stays healthy and gets a lot of time to play. I personally prefer Arroyo over McCormick. Are you guys in the same boat? Yes or no? It's no shot at McCormick. But I prefer Arroyo. I do. Wait a minute. Joel has a U? Did I just forget this? When did this happen? Did Joel get gifted, or did Joel get it himself? I don't know. I'm blown away. It looks good, Joel. Dang. That U next to your name with a Florida State logo over there to the side, that U looks good. Looks dang good, Joel. Citizen playing and Fletcher playing eventually is very different from Parrish being RB1. Yeah, there's a lot of potential, but agreed, because there's definitely a question mark because of health and college snaps. Yes, exactly. Running back room is becoming a huge question mark. You're not wrong. I heard Fletcher was not only in a boot on a scooter, but also in an arm sling. Citizen reportedly looked a little bit hobbly in that brace. So he's looked fine for the most part from what I've heard about Citizen. But the thing is guys are going to start to get kind of beaten and banged up a little bit. And that's why I really wanted to harp on, can Citizen stay healthy? It's kind of scary because he's had such serious injuries. And it gets to a point to where, I'm just going to be real, you become a Zion Nelson type of situation. A guy that comes in with a ton of hype, and you just have injury after injury after injury. And you end up never reaching your full potential and possibly never even getting a true shot because you find yourself just falling behind in that depth chart. So I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping that Citizen can stay healthy, but it's possible, especially once they go full pads and, they go full contact. That's scary, man. Fletcher, there are talks that Fletcher may miss multiple games to start the season. And that's a bummer, because if I did a way too early depth chart, Fletcher is in the 1 or 2 spot. Probably Parrish 1, just due to experience. You're going to have Parrish probably in that number 1 spot. And that's just how it is. But the second spot could be like an like a Fletcher or Johnson, Fletcher or Citizen, like depending on the health in that room. Arroyo can't block at all. He'll play because he's too talented not to, but it'll be a dead giveaway that he's going into pattern and teams will key off. Plus, Mario values blocking a lot. Oh, at the end of the day, McCormick is going to be playing a ton. That's the thing. But that's why I wanted to see Arroyo out there more, maybe in some like, 2 tight end sets or something like that. And Arroyo would be a guy that could actually run a route and catch a football. But you best believe McCormick is, hurt right now. McCormick will be playing a ton. And you're right, because at the end of the day, this is what's always funny. Every season, it's not just Miami. Every season, we talk about either young guys coming in and making an immediate impact in starting, which is rarely the case. You guys know where I stand on that. Rarely the case. And then we also talk about all these big plans for these up-and-coming players and who's going to start where, when at the end of the day, it's typically the guys with the most experience. I know that's how Mario operates, at least. It's going to be mostly the guys that already bring a lot of experience to the table. So let's move on to another positive, another good thing, good takeaway from week 1 of spring practice, and that would be that the wide receiver room looks great. Honestly, it really does. You have Restrepo, George, and Horton putting in work. Everybody has already seen all the talks about Restrepo, 100% consistent, giving it all every day. But there is some competition behind them, and it's pretty refreshing. You have guys that are coming up on their second year at the college level, guys like Ray and Washington, who are going to try to push for some more play time. And they're going to be nipping at their heels in year 2. Then there is a ton of talk right now about JoJo and Nye Carr, specifically those 2 guys. Apparently, nobody can lock down JoJo. The only thing I would be concerned with is, he needs time in, a strength and conditioning program at the college level. Some guys come in and they're just absolute specimens. Just straight athletes.
On the side of your helmet.
But again,
some don't look at stats.
I thought
Ward had 4,600 yards in 21, 3,200 in 22, and 3,700 in 23. I am happy for the Canes. Chances I can see you down in ATL for Mia at GT?
Probably slim for the Georgia Tech game, if I'm just being honest, because I usually only pick 1 game, maybe 2. And it would be cool to witness, some revenge against Georgia Tech this season. But I would probably lean more towards a game at Hard Rock, because I know in 2025 I'm going to Doak Campbell for the Doak takeover. Because Joel's going to get us a limo if we beat Florida, 10 tickets with amazing seats. So I'll probably do a home game again this year and then an away game next year, I would say. That's probably the plan. Appreciate you, Zach Jones. Popping off tonight, man. Appreciate you, bro. There's some psychology involved in coming back from those serious injuries. Exactly. And that's why we mentioned the physical limitations and issues that can, pose or create. And then also the mental side. Plays a very, very big part in it. Absolutely. Doesn't the fact that wide receivers are burning corners off the line of scrimmage and getting separation with ease cause you to worry about the secondary? Like, really worry. We're going to talk about it. It's we're moving on to the bad. Briley, we're moving on to the bad. And it just so happens that I do believe that is on the list for the bad. It is. It is on the it's on the list for the bad, so don't you worry. We got 5 or 6 pages of notes, all right? So we'll get there. We're going to talk about it. So enough with the good. Let's stir the pot. Let's bring up some drama. Let's talk about some bad stuff from week 1 of spring practice because, official credentialed media is mostly only going to report the good, which I totally understand. If you guys don't get why they approach it that way, you have to think about it. Again, I have been approached by 1 or 2 places in the past some networks that you guys are familiar with. I don't mean networks like ESPN. I'm talking like, that cover Miami specifically, and ask me if I'm interested in doing some content. And I always tell this story. I said, I'm intrigued. Let's talk. And then they always end up telling me what I can and can't say. And I say, no, thank you. And immediately cut off communication and turn them down. There's a certain way they have to spin things, a certain way they have to put it. And it's understandable.
This is what it takes.
I get it.
To wear the U on the side of your helmet.
That hurts my feelings.
Why? I said I would love to watch Miami get revenge on Georgia Tech this year. It's going to be exciting to see. But I don't know if I could commit to going to Atlanta. There's so much traffic and, Appreciate the two, Zach Jones. We're going to get to the corners here in just a second, though, Briley. Don't let me forget that, but we are going to bring it up and talk about them and what they had to do today as a little bit of punishment in a way. But a bad thing that I want to talk about first from this week is that I hope that family members that are on the team are not getting special treatment. And I bring that up because fans are pretty upset that Mario's nephew, Lou Cristobal, is getting most of the first team reps at left guard right now at practice. And he would be replacing Cohen if he did, in fact, end up starting. And Cristobal, who, again, Mario's nephew, does have experience because he previously played at Georgia State. But he only started 5 games for them in 2022. And he only played in 4 games for Miami last season. The reality is, when you look at the tape, I'm no football expert. I'm not a scout. I'm not a coach. Don't claim to be. Don't want to be. I understand people's concern. I'll just say that. Is he getting any special treatment because it's his final year in college and it's Mario Cristobal's nephew? I sure hope not. You've seen that in the past with all sorts of teams. You have a family member on the team that's, they're related to someone on the staff, and we actually have 2 of those going down at Miami because you also have Isaiah Taylor at safety, who is Jason Taylor's son. And he came over from Arizona. I don't know. I'll be honest. I think it can get a little weird at times when you have family members when it comes to coaching. Like, I don't care about like brothers that play, like the Mawanoa brothers. Both of them are players. Or when we had both Devontae and Damari. Now we just have Damari. That is fine. But that relationship that a coach is related to a player, I don't really know how I feel about that. I don't really like that. So is Lou Cristobal getting any type of special treatment? I don't know. You have to feel like you can trust the coaching staff because they're the ones who see these guys every day. They're at practice. Media only gets to view like 30 to 45 minutes of spring practice each day. So there's a lot of stuff that goes down behind closed doors. And I found it interesting when they were interviewing Dawson. Dawson said that he really trusts Lou Cristobal on the O-line. He said, I love that guy. I trust him at that left guard position. I'm just going to pin up Katie's comment. But I also then remind myself that there's this thing called coach speak, where they're not going to down a player. They might, they might say, hey, this guy maybe has a little more work to do, but he's progressing fine. He'll get there. They're talking up Lou Cristobal a lot. They're talking him up a lot. And it's sounding like if things continue to trend in this direction, he would be projected to be the starting left guard on the offensive line. Again, it's way too early. Always remember that. It should go without saying. But there's a lot of questions surrounding that entire situation. Even if Lou doesn't start, this suggests that he's at least first off the bench. That's true, at a guard spot. That's pretty terrifying in itself, especially when he's probably the backup center too. And he did have experience playing center at Georgia State. That's true. What were people asking? Hold on. Pancake is getting left guard position. I thought I saw another question, but we'll see. We're going to get to the quarterbacks and stuff as well. We are going to get to the quarterback talk. Don't worry. We'll get there. So I just hope there's no favoritism, no family favoritism going down on the team, because that's bad all around. You never, ever want to see that. Everything has to be earned. The next thing I want to talk about is the cornerback room and it being super thin right now. Even though we're hoping that some guys can be healed up and maybe make an appearance at some point later in spring, or at the very least be ready by the time the season gets here, it still sucks that there's pretty much around 4 corners getting reps right now, because you hate to see so many guys missing out on spring. And those guys are getting a bit tired at times, and you want them to be able to give, the receivers a good look. You want them to be able to battle. You want them to be fresh and ready to go. And you can't really rotate as many guys in because we're dealing with so many injuries. So the cornerback room being thin right now definitely hurts us a bit. And you hear the coaches talk about this in every interview. They're all bringing up that cornerback room and it being a little short in the depth department right now. And honestly, probably just injuries in general. Again, we already touched on it, but, Fletcher being out, the Mawanoa brothers, Allen, Kelly, Nelson, Thomas, and more. It goes on and on. At the end of the day, it is football. So, the guys are going to be injured and banged up. It happens. But you want as many guys as possible to get reps in spring. You do. So it does definitely hurt. All right, we're going to talk about it. DBs have been getting a little handsy with the receivers this week, and not in a good way. Lots of pass interference calls at practice. They do have officials there, so they can kind of, keep it as realistic as possible. So today they basically made them wear oven mitts. If you watch my video that I uploaded today, here I have a picture of them here, just in case you missed it. The DBs had to wear these today. And it's fine. As far as it's something that can help them in practice. It's kind of hard to grab a jersey when you're rocking an oven mitt. Well, oven mitts, you got one on each hand, right? That's what they had them wearing today. I mean, it is what it is. But they have been getting beat off the line. We got some speedsters, man. We do. And hey, it is what it is. What else am I supposed to say? It is a little worrisome. Just that room in general. I'm talking about injuries with the way some of them have been playing, with the depth in general. There are some things. There are some things going down with the secondary. Yeah, exactly. Secondary we knew would be the biggest question mark. We did know when I did my stream last week and we did spring practice preview, when I was asking you guys what would be the position group that you felt most uncomfortable about, or that you were most concerned about going into spring, 9 out of 10 of you said the secondary. And it was spot on, because it is a little bit of a concerning position group. But hopefully they'll continue to get better. Hopefully they'll be able to coach those guys up. And it's something that can be corrected, One of the other bad things I want to talk about is fans jumping to extremes both ways. This has nothing to do with the players, the coaches, none of it. I'm talking about the fans that are on both extremes of the spectrum here. Ayo! What's up, Ayo? Good to have you in the building, my man. You're here at the perfect time. We're talking about the bad stuff from week 1 of spring practice. The fans that jump to the different extremes here. I know that this probably isn't what most people want to talk about. You want to talk about players and various positions and coaches and things and what happened at practice. But I'm seeing so many fans. Let me give you an example. I post up that catch by Xavier Restrepo with that throw from Cam Ward. You guys know the one I'm talking about. Basically, the viral Restrepo catch. That thing has almost 1 million views on social media. You will have fans that say Cam Ward will win the Heisman. And they're going to base it off a couple of spring practice throws, not even in full pads. However, hear me out. You then also have the opposite side, the fans who just blast any excitement at all. The ball humbug, the everything is bad, it's never good. I've been waiting for Miami to win again for 20 plus years. It hasn't happened. I'm pissed, and you can't tell me otherwise. Both of them are fine. Both of them are fine. But it is just funny because both sides attack each other constantly. It's a 24/7 battle on Twitter. And I just find it funny because why can't both sides just say, you know what? It's just spring. Let's have fun with it because it is football. Let's discuss it and talk about it, but not make any extreme predictions one way or another. It's impossible to tell. Nobody really knows right now, especially, like I said, since it's only week 1. And honestly, even when we're much deeper into spring practice, once the pads go on, once they've done a spring game and they've done a couple of close scrimmages, let's be real. It's still impossible to make any predictions. Who knows? We will have only played ourselves. So I understand the super negative side. I understand the super positive side. I just find it humorous how quick people jump to conclusions. I have seen the 12-0 predictions based off of spring clips. I've seen we're not winning more than 7 games this season based off of some spring clips. Both sides are absolutely insane, in my opinion, just personally. Exactly. As we always say, Twitter is a cesspool. Twitter is where you go if you're pissed off, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and you want someone to argue with. You could have 0 followers, but if you put out a controversial tweet and you can find a way to hashtag it properly, you can start a riot. Absolutely. Yep. Daryl Porter is the only guy I'm comfortable with in the secondary. I think Damari Brown is going to be good, but limited snaps as a freshman last year. Yeah, Damari Brown is someone who I think has huge potential as well. But just like you said, he was just a freshman last year. You're going to see some flashes. There's still going to be some mistakes and some growing that he needs to do. Porter is a lockdown corner, though. You guys heard the interview. Porter said, somebody catches a ball on me, I'm losing sleep. It drives the dude insane. And he's got one final year here to make a push, the money year. And this could be a big year for Porter. It definitely could be. So, there's way more. There's way more good, and there's way more bad. But we'll open the floor at the tail end of the stream, and we can discuss some more of it. Otherwise, this stream would just go on for hours and hours and hours. So I'm just hitting on some of the big ones. Chris! So what did you miss so far tonight, Chris? We're recapping spring practice week 1, the good, the bad, and the in-between. And you missed the good. You missed the bad. But you have arrived for the in-between. So here we are. I don't think any of the good or the bad was super controversial. I think the things I had to say were pretty level-headed. We can dive deeper into them. Let's talk about the in-between. What do I mean by the in-between takes about spring practice? Week 1. It's only been 1 week. The in-between is exactly what you would think. It's not good or it's bad. It just depends on who you ask when you're talking about this. And one of the in-between things I want to talk about is more so a question to you guys. A hypothetical, a prediction that's impossible to make, but I'm just kind of curious. Do you guys think it's possible that Jakari Brown could get jumped on the depth chart? It's very interesting because there's no conversation about who's QB1. It's Cam Ward. Without a doubt, there is no competition there for that starting QB spot. The real competition is the number 2 spot. Now, I think that Judd and Emery probably redshirt.
On the side of your helmet.
Opinions of GT versus FSU? Early predictions co-op.
Bro, I'm about to hurt your feelings again. I'm sorry, but I'm about to hurt your feelings again, bro. It's definitely early. I wouldn't want to have to go out there and play where you guys are playing if I'm keeping it real. But I just don't think that I could take Georgia Tech over Florida State. If you were putting a gun to my head and you said, Coop, right now you got to give me a prediction. I mean, basing a lot of stuff off of last season, don't know how DJ's really going to look at Florida State. But if I had to put money on somebody March 8th, 2024, it'd have to be Florida State. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. That's just facts. That is what it is, all right? I'm 0-2 or 2-0 and hurting your feelings, depending on which side you want to look at it. Appreciate the 2, man. But I wanted to talk about, could Jakari Brown get jumped on the depth chart? And if that did happen, what would he do? Pretty much the person that would have a shot at jumping him on the depth chart is going to be Reese Poffenbarger, because I'm just assuming that Judd wouldn't be the second quarterback anyways, but just saying he would probably redshirt, and Emery would probably redshirt as well. Now, Emery has been practicing. It was his non-throwing arm that he had surgery on. At times it's been wrapped a little and he's had some stuff on it, but he's been out there slinging it. He's been throwing some balls, and he honestly looks like he hasn't missed a beat. So really, if he wasn't going to redshirt, it would look like Emery could even make a push for that second spot. I don't know how well Reese has adjusted to this level of competition, but I've heard that he's playing pretty well. Jakari makes the most sense from experience standpoint, but there's some big question marks there, right? So I think if Brown did get jumped, if he ended up not being QB2, let's play hypothetical for a second. Let's say Poff did jump him, and it ends up being Poff 2, Jakari 3. I don't think Jakari would transfer or leave yet, because Cam is only here 1 year. So he would still have an opportunity in 2025 to push for the starting spot. Now, if there was a scenario, some sort of crazy scenario, it wouldn't work out this way, but we're throwing random stuff out there. If it ended up being Cam Ward, then Poff, and then it was like a Emery or Jakari situation. If it looks like he's falling even deeper,
on the side of your helmet,
then I don't know, bro.
I've seen enough. Take this U off of my name. Loudly crying, loudly crying.
I'm sorry, Zach, but it's just the truth. It's just the truth. You know, I can't worry about hurting people's feelings, and I just don't see how Georgia Tech can take it. Maybe. I don't know. Appreciate the 2, man. Chris re-upping that Canes fan membership. I appreciate you, bro. The people have missed you. You saw the love as soon as you popped in here. We want Chris. You see the love? And level 3 at that. Appreciate you, Chris. Secondary is irrelevant. Can't stop the run against Rutgers, who is trash. Yeah, I'm still pissed about that. Not going to lie. Still very upset about that. Honestly, your takes aren't bad, Duck. People just don't want to hear it. I know you know that. But the thing is, Jakari Brown, once again, is such an interesting situation. There it is!
We ballin', boy. We got him.
We ballin', boy.
We We ballin', boy.
This is a moment to celebrate, guys. Stop the stream.
We ballin', boy.
Stop the stream.
We ballin', boy.
Yo!
We ballin', boy.
Yo! I have some great news, y'all. Sit tight, sit tight. I have some fantastic
We ballin',
news.
boy. We ballin', boy.
You're about to see. People, everyone's saying,
We
what happened?
ballin', boy.
What's going on? I don't know what to do. Hold on.
We ballin', boy.
Hold on, I'm about to explain.
We ballin', boy. We ballin', boy. We ballin', boy. We ballin', boy.
Chris, look.
We ballin', boy.
Chris, look at
We
it.
ballin', boy.
Chris, do you know who this is?
We ballin', boy. We ballin', boy.
This just made my night. Now, some of you are going to say, this made Coop's night. He just got 20 gifted memberships. Of course it did. Well, I am obviously very excited about that and super thankful to Chris. Chris is a big-time supporter. Love that guy. We got to hang out at the Clemson game. It was a whole experience. We went grocery shopping at Publix together, guys. You're bonded for life after that. Am I right? But here's why I'm so excited for this. Take a look at that list of gifted memberships. Canes Fam memberships. That means it puts a U by your name. And here's what I want to say. I see two people in there that I know for a fact are die-hard, ride-or-die Florida State fans. And they just became Canes Fan members. So let's clap it up for them. Let's welcome them to the family. Let's welcome these Florida State fans to the Canes family. That beautiful Miami Hurricanes U by their name for at least 30 days. Let's welcome them. Nick Snyder and Briley. It was a heck of a run for you guys. It was. But you done messed around. And Chris Gaffney made you official Canes fan members. You love to see it. I absolutely love it. It looks so good. It looks so good. You even got a Clemson fan in there. And you gifted my wife a membership. That was, wow, that one was good. That one was dang good, Chris. Chris, I appreciate you growing the family. Yeah, look at that. You hooked them up, Chris. You hooked them up. They didn't have the money to get it, and then you came in and you showed them some love. You know, I know why you guys didn't actually get it. You didn't want the U by your name. You will find that it grows on you. You're going to slowly, like I'm telling you guys, Briley or Nick, they're gonna see that U by their name every day, every time when they're typing comments. Every comment they put on my channel, they'll have that U by their name. I promise you, there's gonna be some nights they're gonna be just sitting in the dark in bed, can't sleep,
on the side of your
and they're just gonna slowly do this.
GT had the number 1 ACC rush offense in 23. We're retaining pretty much our whole offense. For GT to win, we're gonna have to run on that FSUD hard. Pause.
Their hands are going to be shaking because the blood is going to increase to their hands, and they're going to feel that their heart's going to start beating faster. The blood's going to start flowing to places it's not flowed to in a long time, and they're going to feel this excitement come over their body, goosebumps, hair standing up, and it's going to be unlike anything they've ever experienced before, and it's throwing up that U. This right here. And Chris, you were a part of making that happen for them, changing lives out here. Huge. And it's fine if it starts in the middle of the night, pitch black, in bed, can't sleep. It's fine. So no one else can see it. They just want to know what it feels like. I get it. It's fine. So, I don't know. There's a lot going on right now, Chris. There's a lot going on right now. So, anyways, what were we talking about? Jakari. So, I think given what he said a couple months ago in that interview with the Momentum podcast, he kind of sort of called out Cam Ward, which I don't have a problem with. And he talked about loyalty and wanting to be a Cane and, you know, sticking it out. So it would look pretty bad on him if he then turned around and transferred because like Poff or someone beat him out. Realistically, if I had to make a prediction, I would think that it would be Cam Ward. And then what they probably do for QB2 would either be Jakari Brown. It's too early, but I'm just saying, play hypothetical for a second. Or it would be one of those and/or situations on the depth chart. So it would be Cam Ward, and then it would say Jakari Brown or Reese Poffenbarger. Or whoever else wins it. But that's probably the most likely scenario to keep everyone happy because they want to keep all those guys in that quarterback room because Jakari does have a lot of athleticism. He does have potential. He has the experience. He's been here for a bit, and he wants to play here. But Reese is a baller. The things you hear about Reese Poffenbarger are true. Can he win that number 2 spot? I don't know. If they weren't redshirting Emory is also a baller. He has a lot to learn. His stats weren't out of this world last season when he had his opportunity. He stepped up to the plate. He did his thing. But Emory would be someone who would also push. So we'll see. But I don't think that Jakari would transfer this season just because no matter what, he would not win that number 1 spot. It's literally not even an option. So anyone who would want to transfer because they're not getting that number 1 spot, they're not getting it either way. I will say that when watching the quarterbacks out there, I will say that looking at like even when I watch Emory, I feel like he looks better out there at practice than Jakari. Granted, it's just clips. I'm not a quarterbacks coach. Like I said, I'm not some kind of scout or something. I'm just a couch coach. But man, when I look at a guy like Emory or even sometimes Reese, I feel like they look better than Jakari. It's practice environment. It's not a game, I know, but I'm just saying. Did I have any other in-between other than the Jakari Brown situation? I think the only other in-between take from spring, let's say two things. Number one, where the spring game is taking place, because I see you guys discussing this. It's going to be at Cobb Stadium where they play soccer and you know, they've got the track and all that stuff. The only reason why I have a problem with that is it's definitely going to piss some people off because season ticket holders and big donors and stuff are going to get priority. If they take up all of those tickets, because it will be very limited seating. How many people can sit there right now? Like 500 people? Something along those lines? They're going to bring in additional bleachers and things to expand it a bit. But it's definitely going to make some people mad if they literally can't go to the spring game. There are people that travel in to watch the spring game. They make a trip out of it. It's a way to promote. It's an event. I've said before that the spring game is for the fans. They can figure out what they want to figure out with depth chart stuff and situational things in closed scrimmages. Maybe it's a little different because there is a little bit of a crowd there, but it's never that much. They're going to piss some people off, for sure. Because if it's literally, hey, we're full, sorry, the people who give us a lot of money get to go, but you don't, that could be kind of a bad look. So, I don't know how I feel about that. At the end of the day, I don't care where the spring game is played, but I know that I can't make it down there. I can't make the trip down to South Florida to go to the spring game anyways. It should be televised. It was televised last year. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be televised this year. But I get the frustration from people who maybe want to attend it and don't get an opportunity because they don't have a ton of money to pump into donations and things, which doesn't make them any less of a fan due to whatever their financial situation is. The other in-between from spring practice would be I'm seeing a lot of opposing teams' fans try to troll Miami a bit, talking about how some of our most impactful players or most impressive players are transfers. It's not players that Mario and this staff have developed. But you have to think about this. Mario coming in year one had a very small window of time to recruit. So he got a couple guys in here. He honestly kind of worked a miracle, all things considered, with the time frame that he had. He's had 2, I guess, full seasons to recruit, but then this current one is freshman. So they're going to be a bunch of young guys. It's kind of just how it is now. I'm hoping that over the next year or two, we start to see guys that we are developing. So we had to go in and get a quarterback because we didn't have a guy ready to go. We bring in a guy like Marley Cook from MTSU who breaks the squat record his 1 year here and beats out any Miami Hurricane. So I understand the argument. I do get it. But things have changed. Most people utilize the transfer portal. It'd be dumb not to, Dabo, in my opinion. But we'll see if they can properly develop some guys. I think we need to look at like year 5. And we need to see those guys that he started bringing in that'll be in their second year, third year. And those guys all need to be the starters, making strides, making an impact on the field. And we don't have to fill in as much with the transfer portal and bring in outside guys. So, again, just kind of an in-between. That's why I say not a positive, not a negative, not good, not bad. It just kind of falls right in the middle. Y'all trolled us for years on the mercenary transfer nonsense. No, it's just how it is. I'm calling BS. Now, here's the thing, though. You have to remember this. It's impossible. I know this is let me just say it. I didn't say that. The Miami fan base as a whole might have, but I didn't say that. You are correct as far as most of the Miami fan base uses that and pokes fun. You're right. For me, if you can work the transfer portal, it's super smart. I said I think Dabo's approach is stupid. Honestly, he said we're not pulling anybody from the transfer portal. We're going to recruit. We're going to get guys that want to be Clemson Tigers from the jump, and we're going to build this thing. But the transfer portal is a tool that is available to any school that wants to use it, and I feel like if you don't take advantage of it, you're only hurting yourself. At times, you bring in guys and they could be considered kind of a cancer to the locker room, and it can create, more harm than good, but you have to go through and figure that out. You have to bring these guys in for a visit. Make sure that they're a good fit. So that's on you to make that happen. So I don't know if Dabo's just uncomfortable with that or if he's just that old school. Whatever it is. Guys didn't want to come to Clemson. I don't know. But I'm just saying that was never my take. If you can go in there and look at what Brom did with Louisville. He brought in a ton of transfer guys, and he made it work year one, and they made an ACC championship game appearance. They lost to your team, Florida State. But, bro, we ain't even sniffed an ACC championship game since 2017. So I really kind of don't care how you get there, like what you got to do. If it's half transfer portal guys on your team, then so be it. If you can make it to an ACC championship game or push for the playoffs, everything blows up in a positive way after that. You got more recruits looking your way, so you can more easily stack your class because they want to play for teams that are winning. Finances go up. People are spending more money. They're buying more gear. They're selling out season tickets. It's just kind of good all around at times. There's always a little bad that comes with the good. But as I said, I didn't poke fun, but I do see it. You're not wrong. I see it all on social media. That's the one thing Miami fans go to is Mike Norvell can't develop players. All he does is go through the transfer portal. He brings those guys in. I get it. A potato could have made the ACC championship game. Louisville had an absolute joke of a schedule last year. But still, either way, think about everything that has to happen to be able to get there. All it takes is one little mistake to lose a game that ends up costing you your opportunity to play in a conference championship. There's so many variables at play. So either way, I'll be the Miami fan that comes out and says this. Either way, we ain't even been there since 2017, like I said. So even with a baby soft schedule, it's still tough for us to make it. So for a first-year head coach, when I say first year, I mean first year at Louisville, of course, to come in and then build a team with a lot of transfer portal guys and then still make an ACC championship game appearance, I still say that's impressive. I'm not saying that they're super good. I'm not saying anything crazy, but, bro, we didn't get there. Just saying. Miami must have been butter last year because that potato beat us. I got to laugh so I don't cry. You know? Mm-hmm. So that's honestly, Miami was their own worst enemy last year. Coming from a Miami fan, the problem is it feels like it's that every year. Miami has had opportunities to be in the driver's seat in the ACC time and time again, and a lot of times it comes down to beating the teams that Miami should beat, that should be easy wins, and we can't make it happen. Can't wait for this upcoming season. Me and you both, Mike. Me and you both. And we do have 2 bye weeks. We have 2 bye weeks. I don't know, man. That's scary. That's scary for sure. So what I'm going to do, I gave my little spiel. How long did I run my trap? Hour and a half. Let's open the floor. Anything that you guys want to discuss about spring practice week 1, it's open up for discussion here. You can pop it down in the live chat. It can be questions. It can be just discussion topics. Anything that you guys want to talk about that you also want to see how other people feel about it. Let's chop it up. Let's talk about it for a minute. I'll give you a second to think about it. I covered the good, the bad, and the in-between from week 1 spring practice. If you feel like I missed something, those were just high points I wanted to touch on for this stream specifically. We could do a 12-hour stream and still not talk about everything. It'd be impossible. If we start the season by losing to Florida, I'm going to crawl into a hole and die. You guys saw the gator head on the video, right? That Joel got me? Boy, I'm just talking Joel up tonight. He's probably blushing. I'm going to use this in a prop for this is real. Oh, this thing's real. I'm going to find a way here. I'll put you guys in the gator mouth. How's it feel? I'm going to find a way to use this as a prop for my gator diss track. That's right. We're running back Gator Hater 2.0 this season. I'm going to diss the Gators. If Mario can't beat Napier week 1, just cancel the season. I'm serious. But Coob, that sounds extreme. It's an SEC team, and it's in the swamp. Why would you say that? If Miami cannot beat the Gators in 2024 with Billy Napier as their head coach, cancel it all. We'll start again next year. I don't even want to play any of the rest of the games. Yeah, it's a non-con game. I don't care. I don't care. Cancel the season. Florida's not winning that game, I promise. I don't think that they can. Surely not. Surely not. That Gator's brain is the size of a peanut. Yep. See, he ended up dead. He ended up DED dead. What else we got? Anything? Anything you guys want to discuss? Spring practice week 1? College football 25. I can't wait, Nick. Still kind of holding out to see if it's going to be if it's going to support cross-platform multiplayer. I still don't know if I should get a PS5 or the new Xbox. I don't even know what they call the Xbox. What's it called now? Series X? Is that what it's called? I don't even know. But if it's cross-platform, it makes it easy because I've always been an Xbox guy. But I'll get PlayStation if most people have PlayStation. How much is a PS5? It's like $500. Yeah, it's like 400. Okay, 400 for a digital version. That kind of blows because I like physical. I like to have the games. You touch them, smell them, all that good stuff. Going to the swamp at night won't be easy. If we can't beat Billy Napier, something's wrong. Something went horribly wrong. You're not wrong, Fresh. That was one of the concerns that we talked about early in the stream. Yep. Depth, man, with the DBs is scary. It's a bit scary. I'm pretty happy with Mish. Mish is doing pretty well. I guess we're kind of talking about safety, but Savion Riley's doing all right. What I really like about Mish is his attitude. If you guys haven't checked out Mish's latest interview, Michelle Powell, the transfer from Washington, the dude is super upbeat. Like, he has this kind of energy that's contagious, and he just seems like a really good dude. He seems like a really good guy. Okay, so it is Series X. I like the way the Xbox controller fits. I like the placement of the sticks. I don't like them both down at the bottom. Should be multi-platform with cross-play capabilities in a perfect world. It should be, because Madden is, right? But I also am in a bit of a dilemma. I'm going to have to build or buy a new computer before we do the simulations this year. And the scary part is the one I'm eyeballing, the one that I kind of want to be able to do all these things that I do, is about $3,400. So your boy Coop has got some work to do before June, because I need to find a way to make that happen by June so we can do those streams. That's my problem, not yours. I'm going to figure it out. But hopefully I'm able, because when we do those streams, I want to do some really cool stuff. Like, we're going to do streams where I play viewers. There'll be whole streams where it's just back-to-back me playing viewers, which is going to be super fun. And we're going to do some crazy stuff.
Just received a call from my granddaughter letting me know she has been accepted to FSU. So I'm a complete failure as a grandmother. JK, I'm very proud of her.
Oh my. Stephanie! What are we gonna do? Did she apply to UM? What was it even an option? Like, what happened? Stephanie! Nah, we'll congratulate her. Stephanie with the big hundo straight to the PayPal. I mean, she's getting an education. Too expensive. We'll shoot off some confetti for her, though. There it is. Let her know we shot off some confetti cannons for her. You can go to Florida State and be a Miami fan. Like, if she goes to class in a Miami shirt, or what we need, here's what we need. We need to make shirts. I don't know if she actually cares about, like, Miami at all. But it would be really funny, Stephanie, if we made shirts, and then, like, let's say someone had to go to Florida State, but they're a Miami fan, and they can put, I'm only here for the education, and then put, like, a U logo or something like that. You see what I'm getting at? Something that lets the people know that you're not there because you're a fan of the school or the teams. You're there due to either cost or specific degree that you want. You're only there for the education part, but you're really repping the U. Just like when you see the people that graduate, you know what I'm talking about? The graduation photo is them throwing up a U, and they'll be graduating from Florida State. It's so dang funny.
Stream Money Fund.
No. That's not why I was saying it. That's not why I was saying it. I don't want anyone to think that's why I was saying it. I was just letting you guys know that I've got to put in some extra work, because if these streams are going to happen, I will have to upgrade my computer before June, or they won't happen. My current computer, I built it 5 to 7 years ago. It's been a solid computer, but once we start bringing in this new stuff and I'm integrating that in, my current computer can't handle it. I've tried to do some dry runs with some other stuff. It can't handle it. So the simulations won't happen this year unless I can upgrade my computer. But that's on me. Put in the work. You entertain the people. It will happen naturally. So I don't want anyone to think that's what I meant, though. But Joel, you know I appreciate you. You know I appreciate you. Joel Davis. Joel and Stephanie going crazy. Are you guys fine if I have you guys sharing it up here? Stephanie owns top single dono at the Hundo, the Benjamin Franklin with the big fat 100, and then Joel with the triple 99.99. I'll throw you guys up here, and I'll just my gosh, I'll just do this. I'll just do a bunch of money signs. There we go. There we go. That'll get the point across. Owning the board. Nobody's going to top that. Joel and Stephanie. I just upgraded my setup. Now it's your turn, Coop. Man, I have expensive taste, though, Melissa. I like my 5-monitor setup. I like to be able to record while I'm also rendering a video, while I also have World of Warcraft on another monitor. I need a juicy PC. So like I said, it's about $3,400 to $3,500. I like the expensive stuff. You know, we got the ceiling cam, we got overlays out the wazoo. Look, how without a good solid computer, I couldn't do this. Think about the streams without that. It'd be pretty depressing, right? Developed the young linebackers. Popo was pushing around Markel Bell. Yeah, he was. I saw that rep, bro. Markel Bell is like 6'8", and Popo, man, he don't care. He's blowing that dude up. Popo though is strong. That dude is
This is what it
strong.
To wear the U on the side of your helmet.
That's why Co-op said it. Lol.
That's why I said it. Give me money. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's a joke. Here. There. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Joel, thank you for the $99.99. On top of the $99.99, you're a madman. You're a madman. You already showered me with gifts. If anything, you should be asking me for money to pay to have that Miami sticker residue removed off of your car. I just laugh, but I mean that's what should be going down. I can make you a great gaming PC. Luckily for me, my full-time profession before this was building computers.
For the co-op needs a new computer fund.
Hey, Melissa.
Raising hands, light skin tone. 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 Raising hands, light skin tone.
I appreciate you very much. How's your setup treating you, by the way?
On the side of your
Is it doing well?
Helping Joel out. Let's get him emotional. House to new computer fund.
I'll end the stream. I'll do it. I already gave my spiel. I'll turn all of it off. Chris Gaffney. I appreciate y'all. That's what I'm grinding for. We're on the new PC grind. Chris, thank you, man. I need to be playing WoW while also pumping out content. You know how it is. You know how it is. My group ran dead mines without me tonight, Chris. Can you believe that? They ran dead mines without me. So I told them, when there's an opportunity to get Thunder Fury Blessed Blade of the Windseeker, I'm taking it. Some of you will get that joke. Some of you won't. Chris, let me throw Chris up there. We'll have a party up top. Anything else you guys want to talk about with spring practice? As I said, I'm open to any topics. Literally any topics. Good, bad, questions. You guys let me know. If not, it's fine. We can just small talk for a little bit longer. There it is. I did what I did last week. Do you think I went too fast, Stephanie? Last week, I at least had the PowerPoint presentation. This week, I didn't have that, so I kind of just blew through everything. And now I'm done. I went through 5 pages of notes, just boom, 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 boom. I also have a second camera. Oh, you have the hoodie cam? Did you do that? I'm loving having a second monitor. My brand new laptop is amazing. The battery life is insane. Vish donated a second monitor. Vish is a good dude. Vish is a real good guy. I need more one-on-one time with Vish. You know what I'm talking about. Realignment talk. Where's UM going, or are there any rumblings? I mean, I feel like with all the realignment stuff, Miami, see, I don't know. Because part of me wants to say, of course they're being proactive, right? You'd like to think so. But it also seems like that they might be taking a bit of a wait-and-see approach, just to kind of see where the chips fall with all of this, with a couple of different scenarios. At some point, you got to be careful so you don't get left behind. But I'll be honest with you, Nick. I don't have any like inside information or anything extra I can bring to that, other than just assumptions and you know what I think would go down. I don't think that Miami would end up in the SEC though. I don't think that would happen. I mean, when we're talking about the geography of it all, that makes a lot of sense. They'd be playing games in Tennessee, Alabama, areas that really aren't necessarily that far, but I just don't know. I don't know. I would prefer SEC, and I've said this so many times, but that's a selfish reason. That's just because it's easier for me to travel to those games. A lot of people, of course, are going to say Big Ten due to some financial reasons and academics and things like that. But it's really tough to say. It's really tough to say for Miami.
On the side of your helmet.
Let's talk about beans.
Melissa!
Beans.
I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. I think you meant to put the hands emoji. This one. I think that was a typo. Thank you, Melissa, for the $1.99. She hit a typo. Who hooked me up with the Coop membership? Was that you, Joel? That was Chris Gaffney. Make sure that you tag Chris Gaffney and thank him for that. It was a good live. Appreciate this on a Friday night. It was kind of chill tonight. It was kind of chill tonight, Duck. I just wanted to talk about some good and bad and in between, and then just small talk with y'all for a minute. I promise no matter what, we're live every Friday. We're going to find a way to be live every Friday, even if there's nothing to talk about. I just like hanging out. I've got a sneaking suspicion that Miami ends up in the Big 12 until both the P2 expand to 24, likely 2030. That also could make sense. Yeah. I do not think they end up in the SEC. I don't think that they end up there. But if we went to the SEC, we'd need a new head coach. Do you like Lane Kiffin, Katie? I can't remember. Coop, is Cam the Messiah all the fans thought he would be? Depends on which fan you ask. Are you asking a fan that's chugging the Kool-Aid? Or are you asking the negative Nancy? Which one are you asking? I'll say this about Cam, Chris. from everything that I've personally seen, the stuff that's online and stuff that people have sent me that are at practice, Cam is as advertised so far in a practice environment. I don't mean that that's going to translate to anything specific on the field on game day yet, because it's far too early to say that. But what they were hoping he would be, like what they want out of him, he's been able to deliver so far.
Off on cake. Let's say somum emotion smiley face. Been too long since I showed some support. By the way, that's like 12 beans. Beans also, what's predictions end for this season?
I don't even think that was English. I'm going to be honest. Chris, you said something about not eating beans. You also had a typo. I'm not entirely sure what to make of that. Something about cake, smiley face, don't eat beans. Also, what's prediction for this season? Spell checks on drugs. Okay, all right, fair. Chris! Thank you, Chris. Let's do it. Chris wanted to talk about, I did recognize the end of it where he said, what's your season prediction? So, you know what? I don't care to do a way too early. Don't hold me to this. Nobody knows. It's 1 week of spring practice. Let's play hypothetical for the lulz. I've kind of talked about it in previous streams, Chris. I don't go too deep because it's too early for my way too early. Like, let's be real. It honestly is. But if you, I keep saying this, if you were to, it sounds extreme. I'm just saying, though, if you were to put a gun to my head and you said, Coop, you have to make a prediction right now, or it doesn't count. Looking at Miami's schedule, which is pretty soft, at least on paper, and this early, because, again, there are some teams that will shock you at times, teams that you thought weren't going to be that good, and they turn out to be, pretty decent. 2 bye weeks scares me until Miami can prove otherwise. I mean, Miami's got to play, I think, 4 teams in the state of Florida. We get Florida State at Hard Rock. We got to travel to Cal. We open with an SEC team in the swamp. If I'm being real and just being blunt, and let's be honest, Chris, hey, you remember last season, I told you what people were telling me. Remember? Remember when we talked on the phone and Miami was at 4-0? And you were asking me, okay, well, what are the people saying? Like at practice. Or maybe it was before the season started. Do you remember that conversation? And I said, the people that are within the program, what they're saying behind closed doors is this team will just be okay. I'm talking about the 2023 team. 7 or 8 wins.
Coop, just give in to the bean. Beans, 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 beans.
All the typos
beans,
tonight.
beans.
That's do Chalupa's thing. All the typos tonight. I don't get it. All the typos. Thank you, Melissa, for the $1.99, the computer fund. Thank you. That'll go. I'll put that towards the RAM. Thank you, Melissa, for the support. The reason I bring that up, Chris, is because there are a lot of those people that know ball a lot better than me that are inside and they see the practices and they've been watching practices for years and years. So they kind of see this and they can kind of gauge it a little bit, at least have a general idea. It's only been 1 week of spring practice. Coop, cut to the chase. Cut the crap. Quit the disclaimers. Miami should win 9. Miami should win 9. That's probably where I'm going to be, is around 9, and hope to be pleasantly surprised and Miami can push for double-digit wins. Double-digit wins would calm the fan base down a bit. It would remove some heat off Mario Cristobal's booty. 5-7, 7-5, in either 9 or 10 wins. 10 is what everyone wants. People want the magic double-digit wins. That's what they want. That's the magic number, something in the double digits, even if it's just 10. The problem with breaking down the schedule is you can talk yourself into putting a W for every single one of these games. And it's exactly what happened to a lot of people last year. Here he is. Here's Coach Hayes. Coach Hayes, I've done seen the drama. I've seen the drama about setting the expectations at 10 and how can it be less than what it was year one. We got to talk, Coach Hayes. We got to talk. I don't know if you remember what my take was the past 2 seasons. I play super safe mode. That's just me. And I'll tell you what I did. I'll be honest. I'll tell you what I did. I set my realistic expectations too high year one. I bought into the Mario Cristobal hype, even though he wasn't my first choice. I bought into it a little bit. What I should have did was probably, I think, what your approach is, which was no expectations, correct me if I'm wrong, and get a baseline. See what we're working with the staff. The problem is the head man is the same, but then in year 2, he brought in a new OC and new DC. So for me, that changes things a lot. So what I did last year was said, really no expectations. Give me a baseline with Dawson and Guidry. Because I know there's some position coaches that remain the same, but I mean, that's a new offense, a new defense. That's a big deal. So I said, probably really no expectations, but since we won 5, give me 7. I've got the, right here. This was last year. Now, granted, I didn't get all the games right, but this was my preseason full prediction that I put out in August, a month before the season started. And I said 7-5 or 8-4. And really, it could have been either. It could if we took the knee against Georgia Tech, it would have been 8. And I'm not saying this to say, oh look at me, I got it right. It's a crapshoot. Who freaking knows? It's a guessing game. But what I'm saying is 5-7, 7-5. You're not going to be able to get me to take my realistic prediction and put it into double-digit wins. Miami could have won a national championship last year, and I wouldn't turn around and predict a national championship this year. My problem is when Miami started 4-0 last season, I had conversations with many people. Many people. Chris, you can back me up. We talked on the phone. And people said, Coop, we're 4-0. That leaves 8 games. And they said, there's no way you're standing by your 7-5. There's no way we can lose that many games after we've already won 4 and there's only 8 left. They said, Coop, break it down game by game. And I could have gave you every reason in the world as to why every remaining game could have been a W and should have been a W. But the reality is, it didn't go down that way. There's so many variables at play. There is a little bit of PTSD as a Miami fan, which I understand some people say you have to look past that. You can't let that cloud your vision and what the team is becoming, what they could possibly accomplish. I get it. Coach Hayes, you're really going to have to work hard to talk me into 10. And I can't even give you a specific reason as to why or why not, or why we win or lose each specific game. Heck if I know. But I think 9 is a fair, realistic prediction. As far as expectations go, expectations need to be higher than that. I agree. And I think that's your argument, right? Isn't your argument, do you want to call in and explain it? You don't have to. No, you're probably busy. Yeah, I know you're a busy guy. You got a lot to do. I know that I think your argument was that the expectation needs to be 10 and that the fan base is not setting expectations high enough. I don't want to put words in your mouth though, but I watched the videos and I agree that they should be higher, but my realistic, I don't want to set myself up to be disappointed. I would rather say 9 and be pleasantly surprised with double-digit wins if that happens. You can call? Okay, here, call. Let me explain it. I mean, let's let you explain it. Let's let you explain it, because this is very controversial, I believe, on Coach Hayes' stream. And he called the fans out. And I think that he says it should be 10. I say expectations, double-digit wins. I do agree with you on that. So we're probably on the same page as far as what expectations should be. But if you're going to tell me to bet my life savings on a realistic prediction, I'm going 9. The schedule is soft. I agree. Okay, let me open it up. There's the number, 865-229-4131. We'll get a little Coach Hayes action in here. And let's talk for a moment here about expectations then for the season. We just spent 2 hours talking about spring, week 1.
On the side of your helmet.
Fun bet. If Miami and FSU doesn't get 10 wins each, I glue that you put on my car to my body.
Deal. Joel. Guys, I make that bet, right? I have a bet with Joel for me to win $1,000. I have a bet with Joel for him to put me in his will. I have a bet with Joel for $10,000. And I now have a bet with Joel for him to glue a U logo onto his body. I'm going to say it has to be Gorilla Glue, personally. Easiest bets of my life. Joel, another $99.99. Goodness gracious. Whew. Let me get in here. Let me get in this thing. Deal? All right, we have a deal. We shook in person for the other ones, and it's the real deal for this one too. Okay? Miami and FSU, 10 wins, or he glues the U onto his body. Okay. Let's get some bets going down in the chat. I like this. These conversations are fun. I didn't think we were going to get into expectations and things tonight with the season, but it's fine. It's fine. My official prediction right now in March would be 9. It would be 9. We would have an uh-oh game. Can't tell you who, but it always happens. And there's going to be a couple of close calls. You'd like to think we got over the hump. We played teams closer in 2023. Nobody blew us out. I get it. There's just too many things. There's too many variables, bro. Like, true. I might have to call him. I have your number. Hold on, here. I have your number, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Nope, Coach Hayes must have blocked me. He must have blocked me, guys. I ain't saying it. He blocked me. He got tired of my crap. Can you DM me your phone number? This is about to get everybody riled up. I'm ready for it. I won't keep you long. I promise. Starts with 305. Okay. There it is. All right, I'm going to call you. Give me a second. You ready? These are the late nighters. These are the people that rock with me on a Friday night, Coach Hayes, and they like to go back and forth. So this should be good. Let's see. Impromptu, spur of the moment, completely unplanned.
Coop in the building.
Hey, yo! What's good, Coach Hayes?
What's going on, man? What's going on? How you feeling, man?
I'm having a good time. I'm rocking a custom Coop Miami Hurricanes jersey that was gifted to me from a Florida State fan. Imagine that.
I saw your video, man. I thought, he looked like Santa Claus over there, man. What's going on?
I don't think that you can have that much Miami gear in your car and not be at least a little bit of a Canes fan.
I mean, if he would have got pulled over in Tallahassee, he would have got a life sentence, man.
Woo. Man.
I love the gator head, though. I love the gator head.
Oh, we're gonna do some stuff with that. I told people we're gonna do the Gator Hater 2.0 diss track this season, so we're gonna rile up the Gator fans a bit this year.
I love it, man. I love it, man. I don't know if you saw my other comment, man. I know you helped me out with some computer stuff. My computer got the blue screen of death. Cool.
Oh, not the B side.
The B side. The BSOD.
Is it still giving you problems? Like you're still getting it?
Yeah, man. So,
Okay.
I'm YouTubing how to YouTube some kernel failure system something. I don't know what that is, but anyway,
we'll get into it.
Change, man.
I'll talk to you. There should be you've probably already saw this. There should be an event viewer. You can go in and get specific codes and stuff. We'll talk about it. I'll see if I can help you out.
Oh, appreciate it, man.
So talk to me. This is unplanned. We just spent 2 hours talking about spring football. But then I said, okay, let's open it up to some viewer topics. Like, what do you guys want to discuss? And the go-to is always expectations, predictions. People want numbers. They don't want me riding the fence. And I said 9, and people are up in arms.
I'll bet anyone
What's the deal
for
with
anything that Clemson and Alabama underperformed.
All right, so I know you watch the videos. You're in the back. You be playing the Warcraft and stuff, and I know you be watching, man.
Yep.
But people that don't know, you are 100% correct. I didn't give a record prediction at the beginning. I said, hey, let this guy come in. Everybody talked about how bad the Canes were, the system, the culture, the administration, all of the things they talked about. So therefore, why put the pressure on Cristobal? Let him create his own baseline, right? And that's what you do when you do a study, when you do an experiment, right? What's the baseline? We know that kind of thing. So anyhow, he came out 5-7. Now I can't say I'm happy with 5-7, but if that's where he started, then that's where he started. That's how I looked at it. And last year, after the spring game, I looked at it and said 7-5, taking in consideration what you said, basically gutting the staff, starting over, right?
So we were on the same page in 2023. You also said 7-5?
I said 7-5 as well, correct.
And now they tried to get you to change that when we started 4-0, didn't they?
They did.
Okay.
They did.
Okay.
They did. Matter of fact, X from Canesville tried to get me to change it before the season because he was talking about the running back room and how good it was, and I almost bumped it to 8, but I held my ground.
I was close. You can talk to Chris, and I had a couple hour long conversation, and he said, "Tell me why we can." And I'm not calling you out, Chris. I'm just saying, you start out 4-0. It's hard to really convince yourself to stick with that. Like, how do you lose that many with only 8 games left? But anyways, okay.
And beating the Texas A&M convincingly, But yeah, so you're right. And technically, we should have won 8 games. You're right. We should have that darn me. But anyway, hit the jackpot on there. So now, with all that's going on, I'm saying, why as a fan base? And this is why as I started listening to the fan base, I've never seen this before, where people are going in reverse, right? We talk about Mario Cristobal coming here his first year, and we also talk about all of the stuff he had to do, but give him 10 wins. But he's going to win a Natty, the ACC. He's going to do all these great things in year 1, but at the same time facing the 3-headed dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're in year 3. He has opportunity now. Should have definitely have changed the culture. Definitely get guys working in, even through the transfer portal. I heard your show earlier talking about him using the transfer portal, and Dabo doesn't. I've been listening. The money has been put into the program so far as, facilities and all of the different things. Every reason why people say Miami didn't win, Cristobal has at his disposal right now. Everything.
That's fair.
Everything.
That's true. Yeah.
From the amount of coaches, the amount of support staff. Hell, you had everybody wanted Alonzo Highsmith, we got him. You wanted these, we had him. I'm just saying everything, for every excuse that people have for why we didn't win, we have and have had. Right? We got a coach, paid him $80 million. That's not saying wins or losses, but I'm saying everything that people have put down on paper for why the Canes been bad for 20 years, we have now.
Right. Just like people say, hey, if we had given this coach more money, he could have been more successel. Or as you said, we theoretically patched up and what would be the word? Fixed all of those things or addressed them.
We plastered every hole, every nail hole in the wall has been plastered, remodeled the floors, new kitchen countertop. We've done it all. Right? Now, we're in year 3. And year 3 is typically when coaches make a jump.
Now,
okay?
Does it still, just from your perspective, not to interrupt, I just want to ask, it's how then do you view that as year 3 for Mario, but it's only the second year with some consistency with coordinators? Does that change it at all, or do you still say that's?
It does, but the X factor is Cam Ward. It's a minus for just being 2 years, but it's a plus with the quarterback you have. You get what I'm saying? So it's an even wash. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
Right? You have an experienced guy, a 6-year dude, and let's be honest, guys, football ain't that hard, right? This guy's been playing football. He understands football. The words may be different, but the concepts are the same. You know what I mean? Reading the safeties are the same. The pre-snap reads are, you know what I mean? It's nuances, but it's not too much for him being a veteran guy he is. Mm-hmm. Not like we're bringing in a second-year starter. We're bringing in a veteran dude, right? So I go back and say this. Yes, we won 7 games, but I'm counting the knee as a W. And I know people don't like that because we didn't lose that game because they beat us, in essence. We lost that game because we literally took the W, walked it 53 1/3 across the field, and handed it to Brent Key.
Right, and I think that when I see people attack you for that, because I have seen this on your shows and stuff before, it's not, and I'm just saying this to people that are watching now. It's not that he's saying he's claiming it as a win, like as in that you're just saying that literally we took the knee, we won.
We win the game.
It's
literally over, and we are 8 even if we lost to Rutgers, we would have been 8-5.
Right.
Right? Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm saying now, even with a quarterback room that we played, that we had in Tyler Van Dyke, and people jumped down his throat, fine. We still have 7 wins, and the 8th win, if you get where I'm going. We still end up with 8 wins, and we won 2 games with him. I mean, we won another big game with Emory Williams, a true freshman.
So then, can I ask a question?
For sure, man.
When you're talking about this, so you're saying, let me just come out and ask you then.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between a realistic prediction from you as opposed to an expectation?
Of course there is. Of course there is. But I am at the point, and I'm glad you asked that, because I said I think on the show the other day. There's a difference. There's 3 kind of categories. There's a difference between a standard. Standards don't change, right? The standard is the standard, and you have to try to meet that every year. Doesn't mean you always will, but the standard is the standard, right? The expectations are where you expect your team should be. And then your record prediction is where you factor in the mishaps, the not taking a dang on knee, the Middle Tennessee State losses, that kind of stuff, right? So I say that to say yes. But the reason I'm going with this 10 wins so heavy, because it is time with what we've done to now push the envelope on this program and let them know as a fan base, this is what now we are expecting in order to reach our standard. Does that make sense where I'm coming with this?
I think I'm following. So
because here's why I say this.
Is that standard? Is that standard 10
this.
wins? Is that what you're saying?
This minimum should be
minimum. Okay.
All. Minimum.
Okay.
Remember, I'm only saying 10 win minimum. Hey, we win 11, I'm great. We win 12, I'm also with that too. I'm not tripping. But where I am with this is, I'm saying to myself, if we have a quarterback and he got $1 million, whether it's collective, picking up cans, however he got this million, he got $1 million, right?
Yeah.
And we're saying that he's only going to give us one more win. He's only going to give us 9 wins. My thing is, I would have rather stay with Emory or Jacurri. I don't care. That's another argument for who could start. But I would rather give those guys more on the field training, because what you have literally just done has pushed back their progression 1 year. Yeah, they can learn behind, but it's nothing like being in the cockpit instead of the simulator, right? So my thing, Coop, is if we're going to do this, why are we paying $1 million for a quarterback for one more win? Well, I would rather go 7-5 or 8 I'm sorry, 7-6 or 8-5, 7-5, 8-4 with these two guys who got more time. Because what you literally done with Cam Ward is burned another year because he only has 1 year. It's not like he can come back another year. And so we literally saw that happen with Tyler Van Dyke. We begged him, this whole thing about him going to Alabama, we begged him to come back. Well, what does that do? That pushes Emory or Jacurri back a year. Now we bring in Cam. What have you done? You now push Emory or Jacurri back another year. So my thing is, if you're going to go out here and get a quarterback of this stature and he get this kind of money, then I expect those kind of results. That's what I'm saying. Because if we take the knee, we're 8 wins, right? Let's just call it what it is. We're 8 wins. And we're saying we're going to come in here with $1 million quarterback for one more win?
No, and I mean, you're not wrong there as far as I agree that the minimum expectation should be double digit. I'm on the same page with you there. I don't know if it's a combination of things. I mean, number one, we can all acknowledge it's just March. We've only seen a week of spring, so it's impossible to really deep dive and predict anything right now. Some of it is the past, which plays a little bit of a part. Yes and no, just kind of depends.
Yeah, we got some PTSD going here. I get it. Me too.
Yeah. And I mean, I let that factor in last year, and it kind of worked out for me. And didn't work out for the team, but worked out as far as making predictions.
Right.
I don't know, man.
Listen, Coop, I understand your hesitance. I get it. I totally understand it. And I understand people are looking at this like, it's going to be that one game he blows. I understand that too. But what I'm really saying is we have to stop giving excuses for lack of performance on a coach's behalf when that's his job. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's his job.
And I love the take of the fan base collectively coming together and putting their foot down and saying anything less than this is unacceptable given the resources you've been given. And again, as you said, bringing in this $1 million quarterback. You're not wrong on that.
And here's the thing. Let's call it what it is. Out of all of the previous coaches, he's got the most resources than any other coach, Manny, Mark Rick, any of them. More coaching staff, more money to pay more coaching staff. So there should be more eyes out there dissecting stuff. Facilities, nutrition. Think about it. We used to have our players didn't even have their own cafeteria. They would eat the same food as the regular student body.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have that anymore. Like, he has all of the advantages. And I've never asked for a natty. Not this year. I'm not asking for 11 or 12. I'm asking for a 10-game minimum. I don't care how you get them. If you lose to FAMU and Ball State, you better win the other ones.
To where the U.
That's how I'm looking at it. I don't care how you get 10.
Coop, you and Hayes
I'm not
on
even
the Cam
asking
Ward
for
train?
playoff. I think
If
10
so,
gets
why?
you in the playoffs. But if we happen to get screwed, through some other stuff and people want to use strength of schedule, I'm not mad at him. That's out of his control. But 10 wins, I think, is a fair ask in the sense of you have everything you need. Everything you need. It's just like I said on my show the other day. Just like I said on the show the other day, Coop. You complain that your boss is on your behind because you get to work late every day. Well, boss, I don't have a car. Now I get you a car, and you're still late. So what's the next excuse? You can't find your shoes fast enough? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Let's stop making excuses. Think about every excuse that the fan base – name one excuse that the fan base has used for why Miami has not been successful that Mario Cristobal does not have at his disposal. I can't think of one.
And
you got an athletic director that cares. Hold on, you got AD. Remember, Blake James, he sucked. Well, Radakovich, everybody praised him. You got an AD that cared. You got a president that wrote a letter to the NCAA saying, we ain't with it. So no more Donald Shalala. Right? You have facilities. You have money. You have money being poured into the program. You have NIL. And Mario Cristobal now also has the transfer portal. I can't name one. I can't see the chat, so I'm just talking to the phone. But if anybody can name one thing that has been used as an excuse for why we have not won in the past 20 years that is not at the fingertips of Mario Cristobal, I would love to hear it because I can't think of one.
You're right. As far as anyone that I know as well has said that it is when they say whatever he needs, they're going to give it to him. It's the truth. It's a blank checkbook. Whatever Mario needs, whatever they think that he wants to get it done, they have given it to him or are giving it to him.
Yeah.
Chris said only excuse is we don't have on-campus stadium. He's not saying that. He's saying other people say that.
No, I understand. But can I tell you this? The stadium is not why you win or lose the game. 100 yards is 100 yards. 100 yards is 100 yards, dog. We can play in the mall parking lot. We can play in the mall parking lot.
Tattoo Terry brings up a good one.
How about Kansas? In Kansas getting ready to play their entire season in a whole different stadium because they're getting some reconstruction done, or Kansas State, one of them?
Yeah. I mean,
so
yeah.
I understand that, right? Because we should be accustomed to the Hard Rock by now. It's not like our first year in there. Oh, my God, the seats are blue, turquoise, I can't see straight. Like, whatever. We're accustomed to that now.
Yeah, I personally don't really care about the stadium argument as far as I also believe that's a non-factor.
Right.
Tattoo Terry, however, says voodoo curses, which could be. I'm not going to rule that out.
The only thing I can tell you, there's only one, Coop. There's only one. I just thought about it.
You're being real. Be real.
It's only one. It's those doggone diss tracks. Those diss tracks are the reason we lose, Coop. Are the reason we lose.
You know?
I'm just messing with you, bro. I love you. Keep doing it, man.
I did want to ask you, Chris had donated and wanted to ask you a question. He said, are you and Hayes on the Cam Ward train, like personally? If so, why?
Okay, I'll answer first. I'm on the Cam Ward train if they deemed him to be the best available, and I'm big in letting I'm big in letting coaches evaluate and be their guys. Maybe because I was on that side of the fence, right? If they felt that and one thing Mario has is the magic dust of getting guys there, right? Like the magic dust, dog. Cam Ward didn't like he was coming, whatever he did with the NFL, came back, whatever. But anyway, he ended up there. He's in a helmet right now. So I'm big on, if you felt he's good enough, then he's good enough. You're the $80 million dude, dog. Your specialty is recruiting and evaluating talent and getting them to come. That's his specialty. Not calling plays, not X's and O's, not all. His specialty is getting these young men to believe in what he's selling and saying and coming to this program, even with 5-7 record. You still get a Reuben Bain to come to Miami. You still get a Nigel Kelly to come to Miami. You still get these top players to come to Miami. So whatever he's saying in those living rooms, he got the magic dust. And that's another thing I'm saying. We got another factor. We got a Reuben Bain as a freshman All-American on D-line, on defensive line. I'm not going to go past the schedule, but yes, I'm on the Cam train to answer that in short.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm on the Cam train because best available, a lot of experience, right? A lot of experience. This dude was on a bad team and still threw for 3,300 yards. Tyler Van Dyke didn't break 3,000 one year he was there. This dude threw for 3,300 on a 5-17. And you can't tell me we don't have better receivers than Washington State.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that you do have to trust their evaluations and who they feel like is a fit to come in and be a difference maker on the team. Because at the end of the day, I can point fingers and, give my input, but I'm just a fan. I'm not at practice every day. I don't see these guys throwing. I just see clips and highlights. I don't see what goes on behind closed doors. So if they pushed, if they were willing to spend that kind of money and they feel like he's the guy that could push the team to the next level, I have to agree that I would be behind him as well. Now, I'm not going to come out and make all these crazy, he makes a throw and Heisman talk. Yeah, and
I'm not doing that.
We talked about that. You might have heard on my stream about that. Was one of my negatives of spring is the opposite ends of the fan base. That you have the negative Nancy's, and then you've got the Heisman playoff. Just based off of some stuff in spring. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna support him. I think that when you look at what the alternative would have been, I would definitely be higher on Cam Ward than anyone else that would have been coming up. I'm still unsure on Jakari.
I agree with that.
Emory would still be young. He got it done against Clemson. Got to see it in person. It was awesome, but his stats weren't out of this world, and I didn't expect them to be, not with his limited experience. So given Cam Ward versus anyone else that we would have had on the roster, 100% I would take Cam Ward. And we've not even seen him take a snap in a game yet. But on paper and based on previous things he's done and trusting the coaching staff and their evaluations and feeling like it's a fit, yeah, I am high on Cam Ward and would be on the Cam Ward train. Yeah.
Correct, 100%. And for people thinking, Cam Ward's going to win the Heisman after you see him throw balls on air, those are Kane crazies.
Yeah, Kane crazies.
Bro,
I like it.
If you can't complete a ball on air, then you shouldn't be a football player. I even used to have a thing. I used to punish our kids, like our quarterback, for incomplete passes on air. How do you have an incomplete pass on just pat and goes?
On the side of your helmet.
How do you drop balls
Super
on pat and
important
go?
question.
No, that's
Who wins
unacceptable.
Tyson
You
v.
should be
Jake Paul
10 for
fight?
10, 100% when you're throwing the ball on air, though.
So then let me ask you something, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of put you on the spot, but I'm also gonna give you an opportunity to take the to ride the fence
No high
here,
road
I guess.
here. No high road here.
So you're giving me a bunch of reasons as to why the expectation should be minimum 10 wins. Double-digit wins in 2024, which honestly I agree with.
Okay.
Purely talking expectation. But is Coach Hayes going to be willing? Now, I'm not asking you to make an official prediction. You'd be stupid to do that in March. But do you think that you're actually going to be willing to line up your expectations and your realistic prediction this season? Like, do you think that's going to be anywhere near the same?
Yes. Okay. I'll say this as an early.
I'm not asking for you to lock in a number. I don't want you to think I'm trying to do that.
I get it. No, I get it. No, it's not that. I get it. Hey, when you go low, I go lower, baby. So here's what I'm doing. No, I'm just messing with you. Cool. Here's what I say. Here's what I'm looking at on the roster. I mean, on the schedule. Excuse me. I'm looking at like a game of spades, 2 and a possible, right? 2 and a possible, 2 losses to 2 particular teams, and a possible. So that does give you your 9.
Mm-hmm.
But why I'm saying we have to win that possible is because now we have a quarterback at a spot. We now have 2 years of experience at a spot. We now have more guys coming in. So we have to now, again, that standard is to win. So think about what I'm about to say, Coop. I tell me this ain't fair. I'm only asking you to win one of those 3 games. That's all I'm really asking you. I'm asking you to, out of those 3 games, I'll give you a 33% chance of victory here. That's all I need. So if you can win one of those 3 games, you should be 10 win minimum. Just think about it.
Now,
I'm telling you, you got 2 losses, and there's a possible on that schedule. And that's like a 50-50 game, I'm saying. I need you to win the 50-50 game because you have the tools, the resources, the ability, the coaching staff. Bro, we got 2 gold jackets on our staff. Well, we had 2. We got another NFL running back in Duke now is on the staff. We got, I mean, bro, there's still no excuses in what we have going on here. So that's where I'm coming from is, yes, I will give one, and I'm probably still going to be at 10 because I'm leaning towards we're going to win that 50-50 game I'm talking about. And I will give the exact win-loss record per game to tell you the 2 I'm thinking that we may lose. But I won't do it just yet.
Okay. I was going to say, I think you're crazy if you do that, but that's you. That's on you.
But I think they're not going to change. I think they're still going to remain the same. Those 2 games that I'm thinking of today will remain the same down the line. And I'm probably in line with a lot of other people as well.
You don't have that Manny versus Mario showdown as a toss-up, do you?
No, listen, if we lose to Duke, let me tell you something. If we lose to Duke, and here's a perfect example. If we lose to, first of all, we're not going to lose to Duke. If somehow the former coach of your team, who was the last coach, comes into your house and beats you, I don't care about a half-a-second field goal. First-time head coach at that program, hear what I'm about to tell you now, first-time head coach at that program, not a first-time head coach, but a first-year head coach, brand new quarterback that does not have the experience of Cam Ward. He did not play at Texas like that. He played some, but not enough. You know what I mean? He got some Ja'Curry numbers.
I agree. Yeah.
Actually, Ja'Curry probably played well more than he did. And he comes in here to the Hard Rock, and we lose that game, I'm going to lose my mind because now that's not the expectation we're talking about, dog. See, that's not the standard. The standard remains the same. We're talking about Duke, bro. and you now have a 3-year head start on this guy in recruiting. You have bigger name guys in the transfer portal. And I know we got better athletes man for man. If we lined up our 100 guys against their 100 guys, I guarantee we outnumber them in athletes.
Yep. And I've said that if he does lose that game, there are some deeper issues that I was not aware of. I will go out in the backyard. I know you probably saw the video when I buried the Manny Diaz cardboard cutout.
Dig him up.
I will dig it up, mark my words, and I will put Mario in there instead, and I will bring Manny back in here, and he will sit back here, and I will call him Daddy for the rest of the season.
Because
he can't.
Here's the funny thing. And here's the funny thing. Back to that fan base that blame Manny Diaz for everything. And he goes to a program and comes here and beat us. So is Manny the problem? But they still talking about, well, we got some of Manny's players. Well, that's Cristobal's fault. That's, you know what I'm saying? If Cristobal thinks that those guys who are still, it might be about 3 or 4 of those guys still on the team, but if he feels that those 3 or 4 guys stayed on the team, then I guess he deemed them to be good players or whatever they are, culture guys or whatever. But he has had the opportunity to you know what I mean, to cut bait on those cats. So there's no more excuses, but all of the excuses for Manny Diaz and his failure and why he didn't do it, yada, 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 yada. And Manny Diaz didn't have the resources. Mario Cristobal getting paid, what, $5 more million than Manny Diaz?
Yeah.
A year? Hold on. Isn't it Banda, his defensive coordinator?
Yeah.
The same Banda that was down here and everybody hated him? And they're going to come in here and beat us? No. No.
Yeah.
No. Not accepting it. And as a fan base, we shouldn't accept it. Straight up.
No, I do believe.
I'll say this too, Coop. I know we're a rare fan base, and I've said this numerous times on my shows. I think outside of Melissa, who's an alumni, I might know 3 other people that went to the school that didn't play a sport. I'm saying, just a fan, like a student. I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because it costs so much. Just like I think it was a young lady said her granddaughter had to go to Florida State, you know, and then she said it was expensive and whatever.
Yep. Yeah. And she ain't lying. That's Stephanie. She'll be truthful. So,
bro, yeah. But what I'm saying is, we are fans because it's our hometown team. You are a fan, Coop, because you like the color. You're not from Miami.
Nope.
So we are truly a community school. We don't have 40,000 people to fill up every Saturday from our student section. Think about this.
And we won't, ever.
Ever. Because it's just not built that way, and that's okay. So our allegiance to the university is not because we went there and we matriculated there. Not because we got a degree on our wall from there. Most people who are Miami Hurricane fans have a degree from somewhere else that we chose not to even be fans of our own school to be fans of this school.
Yeah. You ain't wrong.
I got 2 degrees on my wall that don't even have Miami in the name. Coincidentally. So we're fans because it's the crib. We know a lot of guys that went there and played ball there. We grew up with guys that went there and played ball there. We want to support them. All of that stuff. The community deserves better, dog, when it comes to that, to the sport. Come on, man. No, Duke? Hell no.
No, hey, look, you spoke a lot of facts tonight. As I said, I agree with the whole expectation thing and, you know, holding the coaching staff accountable and the fans having a high standard. No BS, no more excuses. I love that mindset. I do. When it comes down to making official predictions, we'll see what happens. But I have no disagreements with your mindset with all of that stuff. There's some back and forth. You might have to go back and look in the chat. There's some back and forth about some of it, but most people are in agreement.
Yeah, I'll go back and look at the chat, man. It's always fun. But I say this, and I keep bringing up like Ohio State. They are ready to fire Ryan Day because he's 58-7. 4 of the 7 games he lost were to national championship teams.
We would kill to have consistent records like that.
Think about that. He's 58-7. We lost 7 games the first year. And they are ready to hang. They're ready to hang his behind, man. They're ready to run him out of town.
This is a whole nother conversation, but it has crossed my mind wondering what the next step will be if Mario Cristobal isn't that dude. Because a ton of the people that are involved with the financial side of things have this infatuation with, and it's understandable, but, you know, with people that have ties to the program previously.
Sure.
So Mario was this, you know, I said before, like, I think that they did do Manny a little dirty. In a way, I kind of think you shouldn't have been hired in the first place, but he was a familiar face. He was popular. You know, it was.
I mean, his defense did well.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it was. Yeah, I mean, it was a natural progression for him to become the head coach. It really was.
I almost don't think it would have mattered who it was, or honestly, even how Manny was doing at that point, if they saw an opportunity to bring in the golden child Mario Cristobal. Like they wanted him so bad and had wanted him for so long. They saw their opportunity and they were going to get him no matter what. If he doesn't pan out, what the heck happens after that? Like that's something that might not even happen, but it's kind of wild to think about.
Well, I'm going to say this to you. I've asked this question even year one. I've been saying this for the longest. What does Mario Cristobal do when the fans turn on the native son? I've been saying that for the longest, right? That's the truth. Because one thing about this fan base, they haven't turned yet. But they really have. They just haven't gotten nasty with it yet. Because think about it. We're in a situation right now where we're saying, he doesn't have in-game situational awareness. They're starting to turn. And that's really why I'm pushing this 10 minimum narrative, because I'm trying to tell y'all, don't turn on him. Right? Now, I'm not saying he didn't help himself out with losing to Middle Tennessee State and dropping, not taking a knee. I mean, he ain't doing himself no favors here. But at the same time, I'm saying, why not? He did it at Oregon. Everybody said he learned from the best. He learned from Nick Saban. He won at Rutgers with Greg Schiano as an assistant. So he's been an understudy for some great people. Hell, as bad as FIU was, took him to their first bowl game and won. He goes there, they didn't win less than 10 games in Oregon. And we're going to say that Miami, we're going to say Pac-12 and ACC is like saying the SEC when we talk about schedules at the time he was there. No, the ACC is weak. It's weak.
And there is definitely a lot on this season, not even just because if you want to push the whole 3-year thing. I mean, think about I'm kind of backpedaling, though. I'm getting back into, again, bringing in the Cam Ward, thinking about what do we have next year after the one and done with that. We have Jakari, somebody who a lot of people think still isn't fit to be a starter. Emery, who's played, started 2 games. Some guys that'll be in their second year that probably redshirted. He needs to win 10 minimum, definitely. I mean, this is if he's gonna do it, it needs to be now. Yeah.
Yeah. Now next year we may not have 10 wins. I don't know. I haven't looked that far in the schedule.
Yeah. I'm getting ahead of myself.
But I will say this, and here's also what I was very skeptical about. I know it doesn't sound great and crazy. But typically, the coach that goes to his alma mater usually fails. Usually. Not saying always.
Yeah, there's always
Look at Scott
exceptions.
Frost.
Yeah.
But look at Scott Frost. Look at a lot of guys who went back to their alma mater. It didn't work out because the level of expectation is ridiculous. Because what you hear about Cristobal? He knows the Miami way. He was in the locker room, blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah. But if you look at all of the Hurricane coaches that were former Hurricanes, they didn't fare too well, except Mark Richt had that 1 year, right? All of our great coaches were not Miami Hurricane alum.
Yeah.
The ones that we revere were not Hurricane alum. And most coaches who coach at their alma mater at that particular level don't do well for whatever that phenomenon is, Coop. I have, I think it's just the level of expectation is out the, stratosphere, bro. Because the fans want it right now. The fans want it right now because he's part of the system. He wore the green and orange or the red and white, whatever, the school may be.
Which, if you remember, I wanted an outsider. You probably remember the name because I think you had him as a potential.
I wanted
as
Lane
well.
Kiffin.
Me too. I had a specific button on my soundboard that was a train, and every time people would start talking about hiring coaches and stuff, when there was all the stuff with the Manny, when I had him on the phone, I would just sit there and just go choo 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 choo, and I would just yell all aboard the Lane train. I made like 20 videos about Lane Kiffin in 1 month.
Bro,
I wanted
Kiffin.
someone who, even if you might have ties to like the South Florida area or Florida in general, there wasn't anything tying him to Miami. And that's where, I talked about they have a lot of the people high up have this infatuation with people who have been to Miami or have ties to it in some sort of way. And I thought it would be nice to bring in someone who didn't, who I thought could maybe even just, let's say, take Miami to an ACC championship game, kind of get the fans to back down a little bit, give them something to be excited about. And then even if he only stayed at 2 or 3 years or whatever everyone always says about Kiffin, it would kind of hype the fans up again because the people are hungry and they're getting frustrated and they're getting tired of. I have never seen so many negative comments, Coach Hayes, on my spring videos. And doing this will be 8 years I've been doing this.
Wow.
It is probably, I'm being realistic here, it's probably 75% plus negative.
You talking about right now?
Yes. Every video I'm putting out is full of negativity, and people just, if I put out a video and I just say, because I'm not jumping to expectations in any of my stuff. I'll say, wow, like Xavier Restrepo made this great catch today. It was pretty awesome, and then every other comment is, we suck. Miami's no good. Fire Mario. Like, what are we doing? It's pretty much almost all negative. So
they turned on him already. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm a small portion, realistically, of the fan base. Like, as far as the community online here, just being real. But it is wild to see. Like, they're fed up. It's got to be now. And I get it.
I'll say this about Lane right quick. I was a part of, Lane will leave, and then until I really did some research. And when I did the research, it's amazing. Ain't Lane Kiffin still at Ole Miss after 4 years?
But look, I'm going to go to my channel right now and type in Lane Kiffin. I have a video titled, Lane Kiffin will stay with Miami Hurricanes for longer than you think.
Yeah.
I posted it 2 years ago, and I did a full breakdown of his career. And we walked through it step by step. And then I also gave some reasons as to why I thought, he would stay. And then even if he didn't, how I thought maybe he would find some success given his approach to coaching, and how I thought it could make the fans happy for a little bit, at least while he's here, which would, would be an all-around positive effect. More people would buy season tickets. They'd be excited. It'd be a whole domino effect. But either way, it doesn't matter because, we went with Mario. But it's just interesting to discuss.
But to that point, right, Coop, check this out. As I kind of went down his resume, there's only one job he left. There's only one job. He was fired from every other job. The one job I'm talking about that left was the Tennessee to USC.
Yeah, I was here. Woo!
Yeah.
Boy,
But
you should have heard those radio
Oh,
shows.
they hated him, boy. They hated him. Listen, but guess what, dog? That was his dream job.
I would have done it. That's what I said.
Anybody would have done it.
If a dream opportunity, well, I say that I'm doing what I love now, but I even told people, I said I'm usually like I try to be an upstanding guy. Like I'll be respectful. I don't want to put people in a bad spot. If my dream job comes up, screw a 2-week notice. I'll start today. I'll walk out right now to start my dream job. I don't care. You live one life. You get one opportunity. You think I'm not going to take my dream job? I don't care who it screws over.
Cool. Can I tell you something? Go sit in the corner right now.
Why?
I just turned on the internet. Why you got this foil hat on, man? Go sit in the corner right now, Cool.
We were talking about predictions and stuff, and I got to put the tinfoil hat on if we're going to do that.
I just turned on the computer. But I'm looking at it because I'm saying that's the job he left. Well, he was not supposed to leave FAU to go to Ole Miss? Like, come on, man. Now, you can keep it on, Coop. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, so, and here's the thing. He gave Ole Miss, one of the hardest schools in the SEC to recruit to, Oxford, Mississippi, their first 10-win regular season in the history of the school. In the history of the school.
Yeah,
What?
and see, I think still, though, when he came in, I think that expectations would have been slightly lower than what they put
Miami
on Mario,
won the ACC
and it would have been
and
a
went to
totally
the
different
Natty with Lane
scenario.
at HC. My
As you
opinion
said,
as a GT
Mario's
fan,
the guy that has the
regardless
ties
of the
to
controversy
Miami.
around him,
He knew what
Lane
it
is
was like
good.
to have dogs in the locker room. He was one of them. And when he comes in, hey, I remember year one and bringing in the Broyles Award winner, and Kevin Steele has all this experience, and he's going to come in and pop off, and then he wins the 5 and, go on from there. With Lane, expectations still would have probably been high, but not quite as high most likely. And then I personally think he would have been successful here. But, again, it is what it is.
And here's the thing about him. Here's the thing that's crazy. Remember his first year with Matt Corral,
Asterisk
throwing
in
the ball all over the yard.
2023, I mean.
The next year they have Jackson Dart. He's not as high on him as a quarterback. What does he do? He gets 2 running backs, one a freshman. I might be wrong on this, but I think, did both of them have 1,000 yards rushing? I might be wrong.
I'd have to double check that. I don't know for sure.
But what I'm saying is, and I may be wrong. Somebody, I always call the chat the fact checkers.
Oh yeah, they'll know.
But what I mean is the ability to adapt to what you have and not force it because that's what you want to be, because that's what my playbook says. And so, that's just the biggest thing, man. And then I've always said this about him, and then we can get off of him. With Miami on top, what job is better? He loves to go fishing. He loves that kind of stuff. He's in his playground. His hobby is literally in the back. Like fishing is in his backyard, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't have to travel from Oxford, Mississippi to go to the seas. He doesn't have to travel from, I don't know enough, because the USC bridge is burned. NFL bridge is burned. What other job is better than Miami being on top? And he's been at Mississippi for 4 or 5 years now. So I don't see why. Like I could have seen him getting a 10-year gig here easily and longer because he's young. Because there's no other. I don't know another job that's better than Miami.
Especially if he came in, and was winning. He would have no reason to want to leave.
Bro, can I tell you? And we're talking about he's in the ACC.
Yeah.
You put up 10 wins in the SEC. That means you lost 2 games at Ole Miss in the SEC.
It's just funny because I remember that time. I was doing a lot of videos and streams about that. You were talking about it, and so you probably got a lot of the same pushback I did. Those were interesting times.
Oh yeah, me and Wholesome were going at it.
Yeah.
Me and Wholesome used to go at it, man.
So I can't really argue with you on that because I'm on the same page 100% with that. But I feel you. As I said,
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking time to call in because I know you probably had other stuff you could have been doing.
It's all good, man. I always got time for the coop, man.
As soon as you typed in there, everybody was getting excited, saying to get you on the line. So we made it happen for the people. But you're gonna have to go back and look. Some people agree with you, and some people didn't. So,
and that's okay. That's all right. I totally understand, and I understand why they feel the way they do. I totally understand why they feel the way they do. It's not like I'm blind to what it is. I have those same feelings. But I feel like it's time to draw the line in the sand. Conclusion here, Coop, I feel like it's time to just draw the line in the sand. And as a community fan base that's paying $80 for parking, $30 for popcorn and a beer, flying all over the country to come support the Canes. And yeah, people can complain, oh, we don't fill the stands because it costs 2 arms and a leg, bro.
When I came down for that Florida State beatdown, 45-3, I spent about $1,800.
Thank you.
And that was back. I walked back to my car in the piss pouring rain as Florida State fans took over the stadium and were doing their chopping their war chant in Hard Rock.
And think about it, Coop. That was just you. Imagine people who now want to take their kids and their wife and their family, like you said, make it a trip.
Yeah, and imagine being a kid, not really knowing who you want to root for, what's going on in your life. I don't know. You're a teenager. Your dad's a big Miami fan, and takes you to a game, and that's your first experience. I'm probably not. Yeah. I'm probably not picking Miami. I'm picking a team that wins, that doesn't get embarrassed.
Yeah, but just the cost of loan. And so again, right, that allegiance I keep talking about. We didn't go to that school, bro. Coop, I have never been on UM's campus except for the Heck Center and Green Tree Field. I don't even know where that U is in the middle of campus somewhere where people take pictures. If me and you came, I couldn't direct you there. I have no idea where it is. Because I have no other reason to go on the University of Miami's campus except for football because I'm a football fan, not because, I remember over here at such and such hall where I had my first kiss with my wife. And you know what I'm saying? I don't have those stories, dog. I remember going to Green Tree Field watching Sean Taylor knock the hell out of somebody. But as a coach, most fans are not invited to those practices. We were invited because we were coaching. So those fans don't get to go to see the practices like they do at these other institutions, or they didn't grow up being friends with the players. Like my cousin went to Florida State, but he grew up, he's in class with players and they have friendships and work done and all of these kind of things. We as a fan base don't have that. We don't have that. We have what we see on TV 12 times a year, and that's it. And so that's why I'm drawing the line in the sand, man. But, bro, anytime, Coop, I appreciate it, man. And much love to you, dog. Keep grinding, man. And you're going to get that $35,000 computer, man.
Hey, I want it to be like it's already like a NASA space station in here, but I want to step it up even a notch from that. And, it takes a little more power than what I got right now. So we're going to try to make something happen. But no, look, I appreciate you because you took time out of your night to jump on here and explain yourself and talk expectations and all that. And again, I agree with you on a lot of it. I really do. So I appreciate you, man. Yeah. And touch base with me, and we can try to figure out that stuff going on with your computer. You know I got you. Last time I tried to help you out, I wasn't able to make it happen. You figured it out on your own, actually.
I YouTubed it, man.
Yeah. The power of YouTube, man. It can teach you how to pull the whole dang motor out of your car and put a new one in it. You've never even done that before. So,
literally, man. Literally.
Hey, hit me up, though, if you need help with it. And you know I'll do what I can.
I sure will, man. We got to get you one of the computers that got water running through it, like you mine it for Bitcoin. I thought it was like, then they got computers with water in it, dog.
Yeah,
anyway,
hey,
let's be on my big grade, man.
You can do them custom loops, and you can even put some juice in there that glows in the dark.
Wow, that's too much for me, man.
Yeah.
That's too much for me, man. All right, cool. Appreciate you, man. Much love. I'm going to continue watching, man, and have fun. Hoodie girl, the invitation is still there for you, baby. I know you be out there working, but whenever you're ready, Wednesdays at 8:30, whenever you're ready. I don't care if you call me at 8:29. The door is always open.
There it is. I appreciate you, bro.
Anytime.
All right, have a good one.
Go Canes.
You know. Hey, man, Coach Hayes is a good dude. Take time out of his night to do that. It's so funny how quick just like a comment or someone posing a question can just completely send the stream off in a different direction. Literally 3 hours ago, this stream started with spring practice week 1 recap, the good, the bad, and everything in between, to we talk about season predictions, and then we start talking about Lane Kiffin. But I love it. That's what's so fun about live streams, is you just never know where it's going to go, what's going to happen. Sometimes you call an Alabama fan during the college football playoffs, and he gets the cops called on him live while we have him on the phone. It is what it is. You just never know. Sometimes I put Lance Leggett on the spot and ask him why he chickened out on multiple 40-yard dashes against Coop. I'm going to get him on the line and put him on the spot for a second time, because remember I called him about the race this season at the Clemson game, and I got him and his dad on the phone. And he said, Coop, I'm going to smoke you. I'm going to run it. And he was a no-show. So maybe next stream, maybe next week, I'll just call him. And I'm not going to tell him ahead of time. It's not like a little bit or a skit. I'll just straight up call him on stream and put him on the spot. And I'm going to ask him. So go back to missed questions. Let me scroll back up. If I missed any donos, I apologize, guys. That conversation was fun, so I was getting into it. Zach Jones with another 5, my man. He said Miami would have won the ACC and went to the Natty with Lane at head coach. My opinion as a Georgia Tech fan, regardless of the controversy around him, Lane is good. The thing is I felt like Lane would have been able to come in and work some magic at the quarterback position, and Miami would have put up some points. They definitely would. And I don't know if I would go as far as saying national championship, but I do believe that within 3 years, maybe even 2, it just depends on the circumstances, I possibly could have expected an ACC championship game appearance at the very least. I do not think we would have started. I don't think it would have been 5-7 year 1 under Lane. And nobody knows. Nobody knows. Obviously, I can't say that with any certainty at all. But that's just kind of how I felt. I don't think that would have happened. I wanted Lane. Lane as option 1, Mario Cristobal as option 2. I knew once we hired Mario, I told you guys I drank the Kool-Aid a little too much that first year. I did kind of fall into that trap. I was guilty of it. But I kept trying to tell myself, lower your expectations. This is going to be a slow build with him, with the way he's going to approach it and want to do things. Lane would have been probably some quick success, and then I don't know how much he could have maintained it at a high level and for how long, but that's what I was talking about with Coach Hayes. It would have chilled the fan base out a little bit. A fan base that's really hungry, that hasn't won anything super meaningful in a long time. And heck, I don't even really count the 2017 ACC championship game appearance because we got mollywopped. So I don't even care that we made it there. I was there in person and regret going, honestly. Let me keep rolling up here. Keep scrolling up. Bryce, my man with the 15 months, Canes fan membership. We were all over the place tonight, Bryce. When you popped in, that's when we started shifting gears and going 20 different directions. We were all over the place. We were mostly talking about spring, Bryce, good, bad, everything in between. But we had a good time. I appreciate the support, bro. Thank you for that. Chris with the $4.99. Super important question. Who wins Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight? Mike Tyson will take the money for either, you can have a draw, right? There can be like no winner. It'll either be a draw or Jake Paul will win. And Mike Tyson will take the money and let that happen. We're in a day and age where, who cares about if it tarnishes his record or anything else that he did? Well, he's got a lot of bad things he did too, but he'll take the money. Bro, he'll take the money in a heartbeat. Jake Paul and Logan Paul and that entire family, I can't even begin to guess what their worth is. It's worth it for them to maintain the image and all that good stuff. They'll pay him off. I don't know. That's what I think will happen. When is that, by the way? It's streaming free on Netflix, isn't it? I think that's what they said. Kane for Life 75. Let me know you're still here, bro. 49 months of support. How much stuff did I miss? 49 months. If anybody watched practice, JB has been there for how long? They was running QB drill from 15 yards away, and he threw the ball 10 feet above the target net. It's funny, I walked in and showed my wife a clip last night, Kane for Life, and I even told her. I prefaced it with, I said, now, this is just net drills. I was like, no reason to overthink it or look too much into it.
To where you.
But I just showed her a clip. Let me see if I still got it.
We need a Chris Gaffney call in rant.
I don't know if Chris has anything to rant about right now. I think he's pretty content and happy. I think so. Melissa with the $1.99. I don't know. Maybe we could get Chris riled up about something. I don't have that video on my phone anymore. But I showed my wife, and you're right. The quarterbacks are going through, they're trying to throw into the net. Yeah, at least like hit the general area. It ain't got to go actually in the little pocket. But, so Cam comes up, right? Cam comes up. Okay, goes, turns, boom, money. Goes in the net, all right? Next up, Emery. Emery comes up. All right, here we go. Turns, money. In the net. Jakari comes up. Number 3. All right, here we go. That thing was an inch away from missing the net entirely. No, I know. That's not an actual player. That's not in a live environment. It's just a net. That doesn't necessarily mean everything. But you're seeing some consistency with some of the other guys that you're not necessarily seeing with him at times.
This is what it takes.
No hate.
To wear the U on the side of your helmet.
Looking at y'all's
Appreciate you, bro.
schedule, with Lane at HC in 2023, y'all woulda beat GT, probably beat UNC, probably beat NC State.
It's possible.
Possibly coulda beat FSU and Lewis.
It's possible. It's coulda, woulda, shoulda. Ends up just being a dream at the end of the day. But Lane Kiffin was my first choice. Of course I support Mario. He's the head man. I back him. I support him. Can still be critical. Provide constructive criticism. There's nothing wrong with freaking out when he doesn't take a knee, and he should have. It is what it is. But Lane Kiffin, was my first choice.
This is what it takes.
I got a lot of pushback when that was going down.
On the side of your helmet.
Ask Chris about Peanut.
That will get him riled up. True. Melissa! Another $1.99. I hope you had fun hanging out tonight, Melissa. There was the chat was popping off. Like, this was a really good night. And I almost didn't even go live tonight because I wasn't feeling that good. And I was like, I say this every time. Hit the go live button, Coop. You'll have fun. Just do it. It'll work out. And it did. Thank you, Melissa. True, we can ask about Peanut and his sister. That'll get Chris going. Chris with another 5 said, I'll bet anyone for anything that Clemson and Alabama underperform for their fan expectations this year. It's funny because all the Alabama fans have disappeared from my channel, Chris. And I don't know if there is some uncertainty there. I don't know. The Alabama fans that I've talked to that I know in my family do not like the hire. So they're being a little more reserved. They're not really talking as much. So I don't know. I don't know, but I could see that. I could see that. Mel, I just said I miss Peanutless and his sister. Was worried his trailer washed away with all the rain they had lately. You guys remember the last conversation we had with Peanut, right? Let me play it real quick. Remember, I called Peanut after the Alabama game when they lost in the playoffs. Do you guys remember that? I called Peanut. Where is it? Oh no, where is it? I called Peanut on stream. Don't tell me I deleted it. Maybe I did. But yeah, I called Peanut on stream, and he got the cops called on him. It was pretty funny. I had a clip of it, but maybe it disappeared. Anyway, you can go back and watch the Alabama Hangout stream, and you could find it. There's proof on the internet. He had to go. You could hear him beating down the door. But he's not showed his face since then, so I don't really know what's up with that. Can't take call. Wife is asleep. No problem. We do a live stream every Friday. We're here every Friday. So, and it's good to see Tropical popping in here. I appreciate you, Tropical. We heard the sirens. I'm just upset that that video seems to have disappeared. I saved it and was going to post the clip. Hold on. I know there's some people here that didn't see it. That's why I wanted to show it. Let me do one quick look. Give me just a second. I always think I've got it, and then I end up with like 4 or 5 of them left every time. He's going to start training. Job at. Hold just a second. If you haven't heard it, it's worth it. If you've already heard it, if you don't want to hang around, I get it, because you already know what happens. I call Peanut, who is probably the biggest Alabama fan on my channel, at the end of the game when they lose to Michigan. And he didn't know I was going to call him. I called him and put him on the spot, and I said, Peanut, what happened to Bama? I'm looking. Hold on. Dang, it's pouring rain right now. That's crazy. I can hear it through my earbuds.
Oh!
And then we're going to wrap up.
Telling Junior.
Hey, I'll see you later, George. We got to get you on the stream, bro, for the Florida game.
No.
SEC forward, Texas and Washington. Come on. Where do we call Peanut?
I can't promise any.
All right, here's the Peanut call.
Coop's first by
Here we go, y'all. Here's the Peanut call.
For the remainder.
Again, just some context here. Peanut is a huge Alabama fan. All he does is trash Miami in my streams all day, every day. We did a live watch party for the Alabama versus Michigan playoff game. Immediately after Alabama lost, I had Peanut's number saved from previous call-ins. I call him without him knowing I'm going to call him and ask him what happened in that game. This is what happened. Here was his response.
Of the stream, Co-op
What?
will eat 2 beans for the price of 1. #let co-op starve.
49. Correct typos in the autocorrect with them again. Here we go. Here we go.
Up!
He picks up. This is Peanut's number. I'm not trolling you guys. He called into my show like a month ago. This is Peanut's number.
Please leave your message for.
Hold on.
Or lap.
Quick. They live argued about. just so everyone knows we're not faking
Here he
this.
is.
Who do I have on the phone right now?
This peanut roll tide, Coop.
Oh, man. Now,
Oh my God, Coop.
Peanut, what happened?
Coop,
What
Coop,
was
hold
that
on,
play
Coop.
call?
Coop, can I say something to you, Coop?
Yeah.
Only reason I answer your phone because I respect you. You respect me, Coop. My phone line is blowing up right now. I answer your call only, Coop.
Bro, well, look, I appreciate that. I had picked you guys to win this game.
Coop, you
That's
just don't
not a troll.
understand. Coop, I want my family out my house, Coop. You ain't understanding what I'm talking about right now, Coop. I'm losing my fucking mind right now, Coop. You caught me in a bad time right now.
Peanut,
Coop,
don't break your
oh
TV.
my
Do
fucking
not.
God,
It's not
Coop.
worth it, Peanut. Don't break your TV. It's too,
Coop,
Black Friday is
oh
too
my
far
fuck-
away. There are no
oh,
sales
man.
right now. Do not break it. It ain't worth it.
Oh my God.
What was I talking about?
Coop, I can't believe I got you on the
Yeah.
line, Coop, because I'm really sick right now.
Peanut, it's
Oh
time
my
for Saban
God.
to retire,
Coop,
right?
I talk a bunch of shit, Coop. I got a pie in my face, Coop.
But he's too old. Peanut, he's not aggressive. He's an old man. He doesn't have
Coop,
that
I got-
killer instinct anymore. His time is past. I'm not even trolling you.
Coop, you ain't understanding, Coop.
Somebody
I
done called
got
the law on you, Peanut.
You hear it in the background,
I
Coop. I
do.
got two
I probably need
phone
to let you
ringing,
go.
Coop. Oh, please let me go, Coop. I'm losing it right now.
Right,
Please
well,
call me back, Coop.
I'll see if we can get together. I don't know if they'll put together enough money to bail you out.
Hold on.
Just you'll have to let me know how much it is.
Hold on, Coop. Somebody at the door, Coop. I'll call you back, Coop. Oh, shit.
All right, bro. All right, I'll see you later. And then he just hung up on me. That's why I said you never know what's gonna happen on one of these live streams. That's why I say if my stream is titled "Let's Talk Spring Football" and you're not into spring football, you might as well jump in and hang out because you never know where the conversation's gonna go. Who knows what's gonna happen? You could hear the sirens. And that's why I said be prepared, because next week I think I'm going to call up former Miami Hurricanes wide receiver Lance Leggett and ask him why he chickened out on our 40-yard dash race in the Hard Rock parking lot for the Clemson game. Because he backed out the day before. And he did the same thing the year before that in the Caneswear parking lot. You tell me. I'm going to put him on the spot. Yeah, you talk about anything and everything. I like the small talk. I consider you guys family. Ask Joel. You guys don't know. Joel and I, when Joel came to Tennessee just the other day, we sat in my car after eating Texas Roadhouse, and we talked Miami and Florida State football for about 50 minutes. And it's funny because I recorded it. I was like, let me just hit record. Are you cool with that? And Joel was like, yeah, it's fine. I have a video on my phone of him and I literally just small talking. Like I said, I consider you guys family, man. I can sit around and chit chat with all you guys. We did that for 50 minutes. Look, we're just in my car. And we just talked Miami and Florida State football. I think I thought about uploading this. Just raw. An hour-long video of just talking Miami versus Florida State. We talk about the rivalry. We talk about the matchup this season. We talk about Cam versus DJ. We talk about the history of both of the programs. And I have a 50-minute video I could upload of him and I doing that. If you guys want it, I'll put it up there. And it might even surprise you. Deep conversation there. Yeah, Chris, it was dark. It was raining. And at one point, he says, I will compliment Miami if you will take a turn and compliment Florida State. And I have to tell you, he was floored by my answer. Tell him, Joel. He was absolutely stunned with my response and my compliment for Florida State football. He was. Maybe I'll upload it. But it's just going to be raw. I don't know if I'm going to edit an hour-long video. Where does Joel live? He lives about 8 hours away from where I live in Tennessee. So I don't know how much of a location he wants me to reveal. But he lives about 8 hours away from me. No, he was floored. He couldn't believe it, Chris. He was blown away. As a matter of fact, as a thank you to you guys for hanging out with me, I had pre-edited an intro for the Coop versus Joel talk in the car. Do you guys want to see it? I'll play it. It's only 1 minute long. It's just an intro. This is a thank you. You guys are seeing this, and this may never hit the internet, and no one may never see any other part of this. You guys are going to get to see this. Here we go. Let's see. Give me just a moment. Joel is going to be seeing this for the first time as well. Okay. This is the preview for what the video would be. This gives you kind of a snapshot of what the video would be and a glimpse of our conversations that we had. Yep, hold on, Chris. Hold on. You're going to want to see this. Joel, you're going to want to see this. Tell me if you want me to upload the full video. This is up to you guys. It's your call. Here we go. Here's a snippet, a little preview. Let me make sure it's not too loud. Hide my camera. All right, here it is. I'm sorry if this busts your eardrums. Be ready. Let me turn it down even more just in case. All right, here it is.
If you can beat Mike Norvell 3 years in a row, I'll include you in my will. Oh, you're being sarcastic. I can sit.
Wait, hold.
Cam, DJ and King as the best ACC QBs in 2024 crown.
I mean, are you saying in that order, Zach? Or just in general? Thank you for the 2, man. I appreciate you, Zach. We're going to start it over. You good, Zach? You good? All right, here we go. You might have to turn it up. I'm turning the volume down pretty low because I don't want to freak you out. Here it is. Here's a preview.
If you can beat Mike Norvell 3 years in a row, I'll include you in my will. Oh, you're being sarcastic. I can sit. What was that again?
I'm trying to compliment.
Because I know you're being sarcastic. I'm not. I will be throwing up to you. Believe it or not, I will be actually doing this.
There you go. There's your preview. What do you think? What do you guys think? Should we upload the full 1 hour video? Or should it stay in the vault forever? What do you think? Joel says, we beat Florida State 3 years in a row. He will literally put me in his will. Oh, man. I don't even know what to think. That video gets juicy at times. Upload it for the Canes fan members. That could be an exclusive video. True. I'll send a new copy of my will and you can put it on your show. You were quite serious when we had that conversation. Yes. You were. True. It would be proof of his bets. Yep. I will literally change my will. I'm true to my bets. I know you are. Yeah. Did Joel ever find it? He did, Tropigal. He found the sticker. He did. Zach Jones, again, thank you for the 2, my man. I hope that's accurate. I hope it is, because then that means that Cam Ward is one of the best QBs in the ACC, and that means we played 2 other QBs that were considered the best in the ACC and hopefully beat them. So I like it. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up, though. I'm going to call it a night. I cannot even begin to thank you guys enough. I'm just going to go ahead and say that Stephanie, Joel, and Chris were on top of the board. I lost count. Thank you guys for all of the love. Zach Jones showed me a massive amount of love tonight. Melissa went off. Stephanie, Joel, Chris, appreciate you guys so freaking much. That actually will go to the computer fund. It will go to the computer fund because I got to make those simulations happen. Bryce, thank you for re-upping the Canes fan membership tonight. Chris gifted 20, growing the Canes fam. Came for Life 75. Who else do we have? I don't want to leave anybody out. I think that's it. I think I got him. I think we got him. So maybe in the future, that's a series. I meet up with viewers in the dark, and we sit in my car, and we talk for an hour. Think about it. But no, we could do something funny like that. We'll call it here for the people. I don't know if they say this outside of the South. We'll call it Shooting the Shit with Coop.
We ballin', boy.
Let me write that down. Hold on, let me write that down. Do people say that outside of the South? Here we go. Shooting the shit with Coop. Is that just a Southern thing? I don't know if people say that outside of the South. Maybe. Yeah, I liked him throwing up the U. I like that. Trompagal, thank you for the 2. Here's a little love. Thank you very, very much, Trompagal, for hanging out with us tonight. I hope you had a laugh or two and had some fun. You know that's my end goal with this channel. So thank you, Trompagal. I'll put it towards it. I sure will. Zach Jones also gifting out a membership to Michael Kiernan. Going to a good guy. There it is, Michael. Got that big, good-looking U by your name, bro. Thank you for thanking Zach Jones.
Here's a little love.
That's from a Georgia Tech fan. Growing the fam. Look at that. I appreciate you, Zach Jones. Thank you, Trompagal. I'm going to wrap it up. Creep it in the car with Coop. Car conversations with Coop. I love a good alliteration. True. Car conversations with Coop. CCWC. Please give the context of why I would do the U. Well, guys, it was a good stream. We will end with that image in our head of Joel throwing up the U. Yeah, good stuff. Here's what I'll tell them, Joel. No Florida State fan in their right mind would just throw up a U. We know this. We do. But if you want to find out why Joel threw up the U, you're going to have to watch the video when it uploads. The only way you'll know. It's a mystery until you watch the video. Appreciate all the love tonight, guys. I'll see you real soon. More spring stuff next week, even though it's spring break. We'll put out hypotheticals and different stuff. You know what to do. Let me see you. Go Canes, baby. I'll see y'all soon.